swung on and hit into right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Lee Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Drew Luckbauer, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps from the back for one out, throws to first, it is in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Joey Abner!
A high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. T.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first year covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Darren Zaslow.
Newport looks to extend its winning streak to a season-long 4 games here tonight when the Gulls host the Plymouth Pilgrims at 6:35 p.m. from Cardines Field right here in Newport, Rhode Island on People's Credit Union Fanatic About Reading Night. Darren Zaslow with you here, field level, as the Plymouth Pilgrims are coming off an 8-7 win over the Danbury Westerners last night. Plymouth entering tonight's contest at 14-12. Overall, last night for the Pilgrims, it was a back-and-forth game against the Westerners. It went all the way to the top half of the 9th inning where Plymouth was able to pull ahead on Andrew McNeil crossing the plate on a wild pitch with 2 outs in the top half of inning number 9. For the Plymouth Pilgrims this year, the story for the Pilgrims has been defense. The Pilgrims have the best defense in the NECBL with a .973 fielding percentage. They have only committed 24 errors. Newport is coming off a 7-6 win over the Danbury Westerners on Monday night in 12 innings, where the Gulls got a game-winning pinch hit RBI walk-off single from Dominic Dorenzo, the Oklahoma State product, helped improve Newport's overall record to 10-16. It's the Gulls and the Pilgrims next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm alongside pitcher Charles King. Charles, you and the TCU Horned Frogs made it all the way to the finals in Omaha. What was it like playing in such an atmosphere?
It was probably one of the best atmospheres I've ever played in my entire life. You know, we worked all season to get there, so it was just awesome to reap the benefits of all of our hard work. And there was nothing like playing against the best competition in TD Ameritrade. It was just a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Now, to get there, you guys had to go through Louisville, beating them 4-3 before playing Florida. Now, there's a Louisville here on the Gulls in Shea Smitty. Have you talked to him about that game at all? Have you built bridges over that, or what's your situation there?
You know, it was funny because the first time we met, you know, we kind of had that mutual, kind of understanding that, hey, we played each other. But after the first couple of words we exchanged about it, nothing else after that. And, you know, we actually become pretty good friends. We're actually a lot together a lot at camp. And on the field, you know, we talk a lot. You know, he helped me in the dugout against Mystic with some of my I was tipping pitches. He helped me with that, so it's become a pretty good friendship. I actually do borrow his cleats too because I forgot my pair. So it's safe to say we become pretty good friends. And just playing in Omaha and having that mutual shared experience really helped us to kind of bond.
Now, you mentioned that he helped you out in Mystic. You went 5 innings, giving up 1 run, eventually getting the win after Cameron Meisner's walk-off grand slam. What was it like just being on the mound in Summer League and here for the Gulls?
It was awesome. I mean, I had a lot of, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like up here. I wasn't sure how I was going to mesh with the team and everything. But, throwing that first game was awesome. The team really rallied around me and really made me feel a part of the Gulls. And so, I mean, just getting out there and throwing again and just being on the baseball field was awesome. You know, I felt great. And, it was awesome to see us get a win there both times in both games and get a win on Monday with another walk-off. So it's been awesome so far, and I'm just glad to be a part of all of it.
Now, for the first part of the season in June, this Gulls team was struggling a lot. You guys are currently in last place in the Southern Division. But since you've shown up, 3 straight wins, I'm not going to say it's totally on you, but something's happening. What's changed here lately?
You know, I really feel like the teams just pull together, and we've kind of started to play for each other. You know, it's kind of hard to play as a team when not everyone's here. So I feel like that since everyone's here now and we've kind of started to mesh together better as a team, we've started to play for each other, do the little things right, and really started to, just spread our wings and fly a little bit. So it's just been awesome to kind of meet all the guys, and so now everyone knows who each other is, and now we can start, playing to our strengths and weaknesses as a team. So I really feel like just having everyone here has been a huge advantage, and now we can start to, play our best baseball.
Well, best of luck tonight versus the Pilgrims. That's Charles King. I'm Dave Peck. The pregame show continues next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Hi, and welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Meredith Pepis here with Carter Eldreddy for Ask a Gull. Ask a Gull is where you tweet us or comment your questions, and we ask our favorite gull of the week. Carter, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Our first question comes from Tim Powell. He commented on Instagram. He wants to know, why is your hair blonde?
Well, first of all, Tim Powell is my host brother. All you guys need to know that. We were talking about this earlier. I don't know. I guess I just got tired of the black hair, had a mohawk for a while. I wanted to switch it up.
Awesome. Dave Peck wants to know, what do you like better, shortstop, second, or third?
I mean, shortstop does feel like home. I've been there most of my life, but I mean, starting to feel comfortable at third base. Second base is fun, easier on my arm, but shortstop is home, but I'll play whatever. Just want to be in the lineup.
Darren wanted to know if Nick Durr stormed the mound on Monday, who would win, him or the Danbury pitcher?
100% Nick Durr wins that fight. He's got a good crowd behind him in our dugout, and I mean, I'll take our team over any team in this league in a fight any day. So I mean, I still think Nick got him.
And Maddie wants to know, how do you like camp so far here in Newport?
Camp's a trip. It's a lot of fun. The kids are awesome. There's a lot of energy, and it's fun to be around them.
Awesome. Well, I'm Meredith Pepis. This is Carter Eldreddy, and the NECBL Broadcast Network continues next.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. He is to my left, and to my right, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly. Dave, we'll start with you. How about this Newport team coming off a 7-6 win over the Danbury Westerners back on Monday night, a 12-inning victory for Newport, the walk-off RBI single in a pinch hit situation for Dominic Dorenzo. Fair to say that was one of the biggest hits of the season.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better than that. And I think just the way they won that game just will prove to be so huge for this team going forward, because there have been situations where they've had that couple of innings where they fell apart after they had such a good lead, and to come out on top after 12 innings. And in the fashion they did it, they got help from everybody. Of course, Cameron Meisner getting that 2-run home run to tie things up at 6, and of course Dom Dorenzo and all the extracurriculars that went in at the end of the game. The 2 people getting tossed from the Westerners and Kevin Winterhout getting tossed for the Gulls, just firing everybody up. And those are the kind of things that really bring a team closer. And when you have that, it's a powder keg. And then you win the game, and that powder keg gets even bigger. And eventually, things start to roll, and this team is getting to a point where they're very dangerous. So I'm excited to see what they have for the next couple of weeks here in the last part of the NECBL season.
Newport offensively hitting .231. That's been the highest batting average for this team this season. Do you think that stat is pretty indicative of how this offense is progressing?
Yeah, you saw them at the bottom of that statistical category for a long time, and slowly they're climbing up. And, it's still not great, which is a scary thought because this team has so much talent, and they're still hovering around that .230 mark. So there's plenty of room for improvement offensively for these guys. And, once they start to roll, they're starting to get comfortable with each other. I was talking to Charles King. Since he's been here, they've won 3 games, and he's starting to recognize what kind of team this is and how special it could be. So a lot of positive things moving forward, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Newport now just 3 games out of that 3rd and final playoff spot in the Southern Division. Dave, what does this team need to do not only to keep winning but to get that spot?
Keep playing hard, keep coming to the ballpark, and not making each game bigger than it is. Obviously they're getting more and more important, but you want to stay loose, especially in baseball. If you start to tighten up, start to think too much, you put extra pressure on yourself, then that's when things start to go wrong. So this team is at a point where they're playing loose, they're enjoying baseball in Newport, they're enjoying each other's company, and that's what they got to do if they want to finish out this season with a playoff berth.
Newport 10-16, Plymouth, Quinn 14-12 entering play tonight after a crazy win last night over the Danbury Westerners 8-7. It was all tied up at 7 going into the top half of the ninth. 2 outs. Andrew McNeil, the Stetson product, crosses the plate on a wild pitch. What did you see in that game, and how big of a win was that for this Plymouth team?
Well, it was a game where Pilgrims really led most of the way. They got out early, went up 1-0. Danbury came right back. Went up 4-1. Danbury tacked on a couple. Went up 7-3, and then eventually just a big 4-run inning let them back in. But finally, the Pilgrims came on top, solidified it, and they had a really great performance out of the back end of the bullpen from Christian Rosati. He's been a rock in the bullpen all season. He's got about a 1.2 ERA, and he was stellar again, getting the 6-out save and win last night. So that was huge for them. It was a big win. Give them a cushion over 500. They've been going back and forth on that 500 mark for the past couple weeks, and to really secure that second place spot for the time being, of course, but to get about a game and a half lead there, it was big for them.
Offensively, this Plymouth team has struggled this year. There is not a single Pilgrim on this roster hitting over 300. They're led by Brandon Perez, the Southern California product, leads the team with 25 hits. He's batting .284. Quinn, fair to say he's been one of the major offensive catalysts thus far?
Yeah, absolutely, offensively and defensively. I mean, he leads in every category. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs for him. He's been fantastic. And really, it's just been a case of a lot of guys coming out really slow out of the gate, but everybody's kind of picking it up, and they've seen the batting average really climb as a team over the past couple of weeks. They were sitting right around that Mendoza line as a team at 200, now up in the 230s. It's starting to come together for them in the same way that it's coming together down here for Newport.
You're probably wondering, well, how does this Plymouth team have 14 wins thus far? Well, it's been the defense. The Pilgrims have a .973 fielding percentage. That is the best in the NECBL. Plymouth has only committed 24 errors. Quinn, can you kind of dissect that a little more, and what types of plays has this team been making?
Well, it starts up the middle. You talked about Brandon Perez and why I said he's offensively and defensively. Him and Pat Dorian up the middle are one of the best combinations in the entire league. We've got an outfield between guys like Connor Brumfield and Chase Cheek and Andrew McNeil that can cover as much ground as any combination in this league. Defensively, it's just a really solid team. It's a lot of guys. This is a team that was built to be a defensive powerhouse and to have, some of the power bats, and it's kind of worked out that way where they just don't commit too many errors. And that's not to say that they haven't had games kind of get away from them because the defense hasn't been there, but certainly no more than anybody else. And they've been able to ride the back of some good defense and some really hot pitching.
It's Newport and Plymouth here on People's Credit Union Fanatic about reading night. First pitch is set for 6:35 p.m. For Dave Peck and Quinn Kelly, I'm Darren Zaslow. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Cam McGuire, joined along by Tyler Green. Tyler, you're going on air tonight. You're going in the booth. Are you excited about it? Little nerves, or what are you feeling?
I'd say definitely more excited than nervous. Something that we've been talking about a little bit, and really excited for today to be the day to go ahead and get after it up there in the booth.
Do you have any particular background in broadcasting, or is this going to be a first-time thing?
I have absolutely no background at all. This is a first-time thing. I will say, though, in school I took some public speaking classes, so I guess you can count that as a little bit of background, but as far as sitting in the booth, watching the game, talking about it, absolutely none. So we'll see how it goes.
Those public speaking classes might help a little bit. Broadcasting, is it something that when baseball's over, is it something that you would like to go into?
Well, great question. Really good question. It's something that I think is very interesting. I think it's a lot harder than a lot of people think. It's something that takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and if someone does a good job, it makes the game a lot more interesting, a lot more fun to watch. So I'm not particularly looking into it, but it's not something I would count out by any means.
Folks, that's Tyler Green. He will be in the press box tonight, so stay tuned for him. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Manager's Show. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls manager Al Leyva. Al, what a game for this Newport team on Monday night, a 7-6 win over the Danbury Westerners in 12 innings. Newport grabs its 10th win of the season. You go to Dominic DiRenzo to pinch hit in that situation. What was going through your mind when you told Dominic to walk up to the plate?
Well, we knew they had a left-handed pitcher warming up in the bullpen, so we were ready for that. And if they stick with the righty, the other guy would have hit. But it was just, they went to that lefty, and Dominic deserves a shot. He's done a good job for us, and he's battled with runners in scoring position. He's extended some innings for us early on, so I just felt he was the right man for the job, and luckily he came through.
Dominic Dorenzo hit the pinch hit game-winning walk-off single to lift Newport over Danbury 7-6 in 12 innings. Of course, Al, energy from both sides flying high in that ball game. What's it like managing this team in a game like that?
Well, we have the bodies here now, so it's easy to manage a game when the bodies are here. When you have a bunch of relievers that we threw out, I think, what do we have, like 6 or 7 pitchers that went out there that day? And, it's easy to do that when we have the arms. And early in the season, we didn't have that. If a guy was struggling, he had to pitch us 2 or 3 innings. Now we can get a guy out of there if he's struggling. But all the relievers came in, and they did a fantastic job. So that's all we can ask for.
The Gulls are looking to extend their winning streak to 4 games here tonight. What does this team need to do to get a win over Plymouth?
We talked about it. We talked about execution. On Monday, the first 2 innings, we probably left about 5 or 6 guys in scoring position, and we didn't bring them in. So if we can get that key hit when we need it, that's what we need to do. If the guy in front of you fails, the next guy's got to do it. And if we can execute, make the routine plays, get quality starts, do all those little things, it's going to go a long way, because talent alone doesn't win ball games. Execution wins ball games.
Of course, we are in the second half of the season now. When you compare half number 1 to the beginning of half number 2, what are the differences in this ball club that you're noting?
Well, now we like I said, back to earlier, we have the personnel to do the things that we need to do, and especially with the pitching side. We have enough guys now that we can actually, throw a bunch of guys out there, and then they're ready, and then we have another bunch for the next day. And and occasionally you're going to have a good start, and your bullpen's not going to be as taxing. So when that happens, it just rear gears us again. So the key is a good quality start from our starting pitcher.
It's Newport and Plymouth. First pitch set for 6:35 p.m. here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. For the manager, Al Leyva, I'm Darren Zaslow. Newport Gulls baseball is up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Darren Zaslow and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
And we'd like to welcome you here into the broadcast booth, located behind home plate here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are ready for a Southern Division matchup here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League between the visiting Plymouth Pilgrims and the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you, and what a matchup this one should be here on People's Credit Union Fanatic About Reading Night. Free People's Credit Union foam fingers were given out before the game, courtesy of People's Credit Union. Quinn, let's get to it. Plymouth 14-12 entering play here tonight and coming off an 8-7 win over the Danbury Westerners last night. It was a game that was a very entertaining matchup for sure. Andrew McNeil comes in to score the game-winning run on a wild pitch. The Stetson product crossed the plate with 2 outs in the top half of the ninth to propel Plymouth to victory 8-7. When you look at this team thus far, what have you been seeing, and what are the strengths of this team?
Well, early on, it was the power game for the Pilgrims that kept them in. They didn't have a high batting average as a team, struggled to piece together hits and manufacture runs, but the home run power kind of kept it in it on the back of some really great pitching. The pitching has been consistent throughout. It's still really, really strong for them, but now they're finding ways to kind of manufacture runs, get hits, bring guys in with singles, doubles, and that's really helping them out towards making a run here in the NECBL South and sitting now in second place.
Absolutely. Another strength of this Plymouth team, we talked about it on the pregame show, it has been the defense. Plymouth's defensive fielding percentage at .973. They have made just 24 errors. That is the best in the NECBL. Quinn, what types of plays has this team been making? Because that number to me says they've been making the routine play, pretty much, almost every time, and that is absolutely huge.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been the routine plays, and it's been really some spectacular plays. 3 or 4 times this season I can think of, we've seen line drive double plays where they've been able to double guys up in key situations. Just a couple nights ago in a big matchup up in North Adams, they had a double play on a line drive to Pat Dorian at second where he stepped on the bag to get out of the inning and keep the lead, and they go on to win that game. It's been stuff like that. It's stuff like Chase Cheek out in center field covering as much ground as you really could imagine from a center fielder. We talk about it almost every time we go on air, but he's got as much speed as anybody in this league. He's the program record holder at Duke for fastest 60 time, and to watch him fly around the outfield and track down balls, to quote Declan Cronin, late in the game against North Adams on a shot to the gap in left center field, he said, "I saw Cheek was out there and I was never worried."
Well, there you go. So we'll see if Plymouth can continue their excellent defense here tonight. Newport 10-16 entering play, coming off a 7-6 win over the Danbury Westerners back on Monday night. It was a 12-inning contest. Dominic Dorenzo, the Oklahoma product, with a game-winning pinch hit walk-off RBI single in the bottom half of inning number 12. It was an incredible game. Once again, Plymouth 14-12 entering play. Newport at 10-16 here on People's Credit Union, fanatic about reading. Night, don't go anywhere. Meredith Pepis will take you through the NECBL scoreboard when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. It's the Gulls and the Plymouth Pilgrims getting ready for action. First pitch set for 6:35 p.m. Now we'll kick things over to Newport Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis for a look around last night's NECBL scoreboard. How you doing, Meredith?
Good. How are you, Darren?
Doing well.
So it looks like Mystic lost at home last night to the Upper Valley Nighthawks 2-0. Winnipesaukee played at home, and they won against North Adams 18-3, a huge game for them. Danbury Westerners lost at home to the Plymouth Pilgrims. Sanford also lost at home to the Keene Swamp Bats. Vermont Mountaineers won at home against the Valley Blue Sox, and Ocean State Waves fell short to New Bedford Bay Sox. And the Newport Gulls didn't play last night.
That is true, coming off an off day, absolutely, and we'll see what the Gulls can do here tonight against the Plymouth Pilgrims. Also, Meredith, will have you quickly take us through the standings here in the league as well, because like we talked about in the pregame show, this is a big game both for Plymouth and Newport. What are those standings looking like?
So it looks like in the Northern Division, Upper Valley is in first place with 18 wins. Valley Blue Sox, second, Vermont, then Winnipesaukee, Keene, North Adams, and Sanford Mainers are in last place in the Northern Division. And in the Southern Division, Ocean State Waves are leading with 20 wins, followed by the Plymouth Pilgrims, who we are playing tonight, Danbury, Mystic, New Bedford, and our Newport Gulls are in last place with 10 wins.
Thank you so much, Meredith. Of course, it's a Southern Division matchup here between Plymouth and Newport. Once again, Plymouth 14-12 entering play here tonight. Newport at 10-16. Our first pitches are currently being thrown out here. You can take a look at that on your screen in front of you. Amy Martell, Jane McDermott, Carol Ulak, and Steven Carniero all throwing out tonight's first pitches here on People's Credit Union Fanatic About Reading Night. Free People's Credit Union foam fingers are being given away before the game, courtesy of People's Credit Union. Don't go anywhere. We'll get you the national anthem. We come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field. We are getting ready for our national anthem. Tonight it is being sung by Sydney Mello. We will send you down to the field.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we
A beautiful national anthem sung by Sydney Mello, a graduate of Middletown High School. Great job right there. We are just about ready for baseball here between Plymouth and Newport here on People's Credit Union Fanatic about reading night. Don't go anywhere. We will get you starting lineups and first pitch between the Pilgrims and the Gulls right after this, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are just about ready for baseball here between the Plymouth Pilgrims and the Newport Gulls. How you doing, everybody? Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quentin Kelly, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you. Plymouth entering play tonight at 14-12 overall. Newport at 10-16 here in the NECBL's Southern Division. A huge matchup for both of these two teams. And now we will flip things over to the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quentin Kelly, to take us through the starting lineup for Plymouth.
Thank you very much, Darren. Leading things off, it will be the right fielder out of Stetson, Andrew McNeil. Behind him, back in the lineup after a night off, it's Brandon Perez, the shortstop out of the University of Southern California. James Venuto, also after a night off, will be doing the DHing tonight. He's out of Elon. Hitting cleanup, Zach McGuire, a night removed from a 3-run blast down at Danbury. He will be hitting fourth, as I said, and playing first out of Michigan State. Pat Dorian, the second baseman out of Lynn University, hits fifth. Behind him, Jeremiah Adams, the third baseman out of Oklahoma. Connor Brumfield back in the lineup tonight, hits seventh out of Mizzou and plays left. Brandon Martirano, the catcher, also back in the lineup out of UNC. And Chase Cheek rounds out the order, the Duke center fielder.
Thanks so much, Quinn, and they will go to work against the UCLA right-hander on the mound. It's Kyle Mora, and we will see what Mora can do here for this Newport team. Entering play here tonight, Mora is 1-1 with a 2.12 ERA. This is his third start, fifth total appearance. He has thrown 17 innings this year and really has been very dominant. 18 strikeouts over those 17 innings. He has given up just 4 earned runs on 13 hits. Opponents are hitting .206 against him, and for the Newport Gulls, their starting lineup looks like this for second-year manager Al Leyva. Leading off is the left fielder Cameron Meisner out of Missouri. Batting second for the first time this season, Carter Aldretti bats in the number 2 spot. He's at third base out of Arizona State. Gabe Snyder is at first base from Wright State. He hits third. The cleanup hitter is Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher out of Oklahoma. Batting fifth, Cade Cabanis. He's in right field from Oklahoma State. Batting sixth is the second baseman Nick Durr from Florida State. Bruce Steele's at shortstop from Wake Forest. He bats seventh. Liam O'Regan is the designated hitter out of Elon, hitting eighth. And rounding out the Newport lineup, the center fielder out of Florida State in J.C. Flowers. We will quickly take you through tonight's umpires here at the ballpark. Behind home plate, John Levine, and on the bags, Michael Lum and Tom Carey. Your weather here in Newport, Rhode Island. As you can see in front of you, the American flag is waving 74 degrees and slight winds here about 10 miles an hour. Stepping in from the left side is going to be Andrew McNeil. He looks at the first pitch low for ball 1. Your starting defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls. We'll take you through that after the pitch from Moore. It's 1-0 on Andrew McNeil out of Stetson. Next offering in there for strike 1, 1-1. From left to right around the Newport infield, Carter Aldretti mans the hot corner. He's at third base. The shortstop is Bruce Steele. At second base is Nick Durr, and at first is Gabe Snyder. From left to right in the Newport outfield, Cameron Meisner is in left field. J.C. Flowers in center. Cade Cabanis in right. Catching the balls and strikes from Dominic Dorenzo. From Kyle Mora is Dominic Dorenzo, as this one is tapped foul. Weekly right side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Your field dimensions at the ballpark: 315 feet down the left field line, 365 to left center, 395 to deep center field, 340 to right center, and 285 down the right field line. Of course, the fences here at the ballpark are 28 feet high. We'll see what McNeil can do facing a 1-2 count against Mora. And the pitch is on the way. Curveball just misses wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It'll be interesting tonight for Newport. They had so many late arrivals that much of their lineup has yet to be seen by the Pilgrims. Conversely, about 6 of the hitters in the Pilgrims lineup have already seen Mora.
2-2 fastball misses up and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Newport wears the home white uniforms, the white tops with Gulls written in blue, outlined in orange from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are blue, outlined in orange. The Gulls also wear white pants with a blue and orange stripe down the sides. Next pitch to McNeil. Fouled straight back on the payoff offering. We will do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Plymouth, on the other hand, they wear their road navy blue tops with Plymouth written in gray, outlined in navy blue and red from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are gray, outlined in navy blue and red as well. And the Pilgrims also wear white pants with a navy blue stripe down the sides. This one grounded weakly to second, picked up there by Durr. Throw on to first is in time to retire Andrew McNeil. 4-3. It's a nice start for Kyle Mora, but I'll tell you what, Quinn, that's what you want. If you want to find a way to help skyrocket this pitch count for Kyle Mora, you work a full count and you see a lot of pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest goal, is just to get to the starter. We saw the last time the Pilgrims were here, nobody was really able to give them distance, the Gulls. Mora going the longest of any pitcher at 3 innings, and that was because the Pilgrims were just working good at bats, getting a lot of counts, and working some walks.
So now we will see what Brandon Perez can do. He leads this Plymouth team in hitting at .284, 25 hits. Leads the Pilgrims. He looks at a curveball for strike 1. It is 0-1 on the number 2 hitting Perez out of Southern California. He bats from the right side here. 0-1. Fastball fouled off right side, out of play. 0-2. We are in the top half of the first. The base is empty, 1 away. Plymouth and Newport are currently scoreless right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Kyle Mora has already thrown 9 pitches. 6 of them have been for strikes. Here's the 0-2. Curveball taken down and away. And the count 1-2. Perez this year also 12 runs scored and 17 RBI. He resides in Newport Beach, California. Mora winds and deals. Another curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Excellent pitch from Kyle Mora. First strikeout of the ball game. 2 away for the designated hitter out of Elon and James Venuto.
That's just a great pitch right there from Mora. Breaking ball that just falls off the table to the righty, and Perez chases it, starts in the zone, but nothing he can do with it by the time it's crossing the plate.
Venuto will bat from the left side here. He wears the high navy blue socks, a red ankle guard on that front side foot. Pinwheels the bat a few times out in front of him. 2 away here, top 1. Base is empty. Plymouth and Newport are scoreless. First pitch from Mora, fastball. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. It's 0-1 on James Venuto. This year he is hitting .260. 13 for 50 with 10 runs scored, 9 RBI, 11 walks, and 15 strikeouts. 0-1. Fastball, soft liner, caught by the third baseman Andretti, moving to his right towards the line, and the inning is over. It is a perfect frame from Kyle Mora. He retires Plymouth in order. 1, 2, 3 for the Pilgrims. No runs, no hits, no Newport errors. None left aboard. The Gulls will take their first swings of the night when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Plymouth Pilgrims were retired 1, 2, 3 by Gulls starter Kyle Mora, the right-hander out of UCLA, already finding a rhythm here on the mound for Newport. The Gulls will send up the top of the lineup: Cameron Meisner, Carter Aldretti, Gabe Snyder to face off against Drew Korzybski, the right-hander out of East Tennessee State University, on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. We'll also take you through the starting defensive alignment for the Plymouth Pilgrims. From left to right around the infield, at third base is Jeremiah Adams. At shortstop is Brandon Perez. The second baseman is Pat Dorian. Zach McGuire is at first. From left to right in the Plymouth outfield, Connor Brumfield is in left field. Chase Cheek is in center field. In right is Andrew McNeil. Catching the balls and strikes from Drew Korzybski is Brandon Martirano. And here is Cameron Meisner. He bats from the left side. He has been excellent recently for Newport. 4 home runs over his past 3 games. Looks at a fastball at the knees right over the inside corner for strike 1. It is 0-1 on Meisner, who is hitting .322 this year. Next offering from Korzybski. Fastball in there for strike 2. Working inside here against Meisner, who is 28 of 87 this season. 18 runs scored, 16 RBI as well. 14 walks for the Missouri product. 0-2. This one grounded up the middle, past Dorian in the right center field, a base hit. Leadoff single for Cameron Meisner sets the scene for Carter Aldretti, the third baseman out of Arizona State. He's hitting .200 this year, 8 for 40 with 3 runs scored. No RBI and 7 walks for the Arizona State product.
Well, here you go now with Aldretti. He's the first of 5 members of this Gulls lineup that the Pilgrims have yet to see on the season. Obviously, so many new arrivals helping out now. The Gulls getting on their run. See how Korzybski can handle them. Don't have a book on him quite yet.
Aldretti bats from the right side here, swings the all-black bat. Slightly bent knees, the squared stance, first pitch. Fastball fouled off right side. It is 0-1 on Carter Aldretti. We're in the bottom half of the first, no one out and a runner on first. Plymouth and Newport are still scoreless here on People's Credit Union Fanatic about reading night. Korzybski works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber, tucks the black glove hip high. Sets the black glove letter high, 0-1. Fastball in there for strike 2 on the outer edge. 0-2 on Carter Aldretti. It's a righty-righty matchup here. Korzybski out of East Tennessee State University against Aldretti. Off of first is Meisner with a 9-foot lead. Here's the 0-2. Skied in the air down the left field line. Adams, Perez, and Brumfield will all give chase. The left fielder, Brumfield, slides and makes the play on the move to his right, crossing into foul ground for out number 1. What a play by Brumfield.
Yeah, that one just kind of trailed back towards the field. It looked off the bat like it was going to get plenty a ways out of play, but then when it came down, he slid into foul ground, but it honestly looked like it might have been coming down fair. So great job for the Pilgrims to converge on that one, and Brumfield showing the range to get to it.
Yeah, hard to tell if that would have dropped in fair or not. It was definitely very close to the line. And here is Gabe Snyder, the first baseman, bats from the left side out of Wright State. Snyder this season hitting .313. He's gotten off to a great start. 15 for 48, 6 runs scored. Grounds this to second, it could be 2. Dorian flips to second for 1. Perez's relay to first is in time. 4-6-3, inning ending double play gets Korzybski out of the frame. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. They leave no one aboard with no Plymouth errors. We go to the top half of the second. The Gulls and the Pilgrims are scoreless right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the top half of inning number 2 we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport and Plymouth are currently scoreless right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxout, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth. Plymouth will try and get their offense going here in the top half of the second with Zach McGuire, Pat Dorian, and Jeremiah Adams, hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the Plymouth lineup, to go to work against Kyle Mora, who enters his second full frame of work. And Quinn, Mora looked pretty dominant in that first frame of work.
Oh, he absolutely did. Came right out after the Pilgrims hitters and just mowed him down. I mean, nobody could make solid contact. McNeil with a soft ground out, Venuto soft line out, and fooling Perez with the breaking ball.
So here is Zach McGuire, the first baseman out of Michigan State, will step in from the right side. He's hitting .283 this season. He is 17 for 60, 10 runs scored, 15 RBI. Next offering, this one skied in the air, foul right side. Over the hockey-style dugouts located down the first base line. Of course, they are one of the many unique features of Cardines Field. Newport's dugout closer to home plate, Plymouth's dugout closer to first base. 1-1 offering. Curveball lifted in the air, shallow center field. Oncoming is Flowers. He will play it on a hop and throw it back into the infield. It's a leadoff single for Zach McGuire. First single of the night for the Plymouth Pilgrims.
And it looked like Flowers might have misplayed that one out there. He stepped back, took that first step back, and then held for a minute, and then didn't really charge it in a way that was going to give him a chance to get to it. Didn't fall too close to him, but if he's hustling in on that from the get, he might have had a play on it.
Certainly a good point, and, you know, they say the toughest ball to field or to catch is the one hit right at you, you know, so that certainly makes sense. as Pat Dorian steps in from the left side. Dorian this year hitting .241, 21 of 87, 11 runs scored and 4 RBI. Resides in Kingston, New York. Off of first is McGuire. He's singled. About an 8-foot lead over there. He's held on by Snyder, the third baseman. Aldretti plays on the infield grass as Dorian swings over top of Mora, a curveball, and the count levels at 1-1.
Well, 6 guys in this Pilgrims lineup have seen Mora, and Dorian the only one to register a hit against him, a big double. It helped the Pilgrims to that 12-6 lead the last trip down here to Cardines.
Morris sets the black glove, letter high, throws over to first. The check up there on McGuire. He's back in, standing up. Dorian wears the high navy blue socks from the left side. He swings the all-black bat with the green batting gloves. Stands tall as well. Mora works out of the stretch from the third base side of the rubber. The pitch on the way is low, and it gets away from Dorenzo. Up to second will go McGuire as he beats Dorenzo's throw. It's a pretty good throw from being about 20 feet behind home plate there. And the count 2-1 on Dorian.
Yeah, you know, that's a smart play by Dorenzo there. He thought about it. Didn't necessarily have a chance to get McGuire, but because McGuire thought that ball was so far and that there was going to be no throw, he kind of lazily ran in, but the throw ends up being pretty close from Dorenzo.
Certainly was, and McGuire into scoring position at second base. He takes a walking lead. Aldretti still plays on the infield grass at third. 2-1. Curveball, sharp ground ball to first. Gets by Snyder down the right field line. Around third, heading home is McGuire. He will cross the plate. The ball is picked up by Durr, and sliding in safely is Pat Dorian ahead of Durr's throw. We will see how they want to rule it, but Plymouth will take a 1-0 lead here with no outs in the top half of the second. It's going to be an error on Snyder. E3 if you're keeping score with us at home. Dorian at scoring position on second base.
Well, that's big. You know, you talked about ahead the defense for the Pilgrims. Now it's been so important for them. Here the Gulls' lack of defense puts them in a hole early. Tough play down there at first.
Well, we will definitely talk about defense in this frame because certainly that's where these two teams differ. First pitch to Jeremiah Adams, the Oklahoma third baseman, fouls this one off third base side. It's 0-1. Adams this year hitting .236. He's 13 of 55. But, Quinn, you do talk about defense. And Newport, on the other hand, defensively, their fielding percentage at .954. That's the second worst in the NECBL. So it kind of puts things into perspective for you. 0-1 curveball waved at and missed now, 0-2. And you look at Plymouth's fielding percentage, obviously very high. At .973. So that's what has really helped them this season as well. Morris sets the black glove, letter high, looks at Dorian on second, deals home, and this one tapped weakly foul behind home plate. Adams stays alive.
Well, great job by Adams there. Mora has featured a couple of really, really nice breaking balls, and that one he gets it again, and he's able to just get the bat on it. In a tough situation for Adams, too, because, of course, you've got Dorenzo behind the plate, who, being your teammate, should know more than anything what pitches to call, what's going to get you here.
There was the curveball, and Adams got a piece of it to stay alive. Off of second is Dorian. He reached on an error. Next pitch, curveball once again, tapped softly behind home plate. But Adams stays alive. Mora thus far has thrown 24 pitches, 17 of which have been strikes. Quinn, through just one inning of work.
It's just a good job by the Pilgrims. They're fouling off some tough pitches. And once you see the breaking ball a couple times, you know to really sit on it. It's got great snap, and he's going to overpower you sometimes, but if you can tick it off.
This one sharply grounded to short. Nice backhand stop by Steele. Throws on to first to retire Adams by 2 steps. One away, 6-3. Adams is retired. Excellent play by Steele. So here is Connor Brumfield, the left fielder out of Missouri, of course, teammates with Newport's left fielder in Cameron Meisner, who is 1 for 1. Brumfield this year hitting .222. He's 14 for 63 with 6 runs scored, 2 RBI, 6 walks, and 20 strikeouts. He resides in Columbia, Missouri, and bats from the left side. Wears a white arm sleeve on the right arm, the black elbow guard on that right arm as well. Mora deals. Change up, sharp ground ball. Picked there by Snyder on the high hop. He takes it to the bag himself in time. To third base goes Dorian, and there's 2 away.
Well, Brumfield does what Adams can't do and moves over Dorian, but now with 2 outs, going to need a hit out of Martirano here, who has been really dominated by Mora this season. 2 plate appearances, he's been K'd up twice.
Martirano, the catcher out of North Carolina, hitting .053 this year. He's 1 for 19 with 2 runs scored and 4 RBI. Whereas the ankle guard a little bit higher up towards the kneecap, pretty much to protect the calf area and inner calf area as well. First pitch from Mora. Nice curveball in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 on Martirano. We are in the top half of the second. 2 away, a runner on third. 1-0, Plymouth leads. The Pilgrims scored that run on a single and an error. Next pitch, curveball, drops in for strike 2. Right on the outside, Black, 0-2 on the number 8 hitting Brandon Martirano out of North Carolina. Has the back foot on the back line in the right-handed batter's box. It is starting to wear away. Here in the frame, 0-2. Fastball, ground ball, second base to his left goes Durr, shuffles to his left, throw to first, retires Martirano 4-3. And the inning is over, but the damage has been done for the Plymouth Pilgrims. They score 1 run on 1 hit. On 1 Newport error, they leave 1 aboard. The Gulls will try and answer as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Your score, Plymouth 1, Newport 0. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. We welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, here on People's Credit Union Fanatic About Reading Night. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, Gulls field reporter Ben Maxoud, and Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you, and we will see what Dominic Dorenzo, Cade Cabanis, and Nick Durr can do here against Drew Korzybski. He enters his second frame of work here out of East Tennessee State University. And thus far, Quinn, I mean, other than that single to Cameron Meisner to lead off the ball game, Korzybski looks great, and he got a huge 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the first. Dominic Dorenzo steps in, looks at a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1.
And what I really liked was he gets up 0-2 on Meisner and shakes off one from Martirano, tries to just kind of overpower him with the fastball.
Next offering, breaking ball in there, 0-2 on Dorenzo, who is hitting .231 this year. He is 3 for 13 with a run scored and 3 RBI.
Meisner takes that third fastball that he sees and gets a hit. When he goes 0-2 on Aldretti, he comes with the breaking ball.
Drops in a fastball there on the outside corner for strike 3. Down looking goes Dorenzo. First strikeout of the contest for Korzybski. There's one away for Cade Cabanis, the right fielder out of Oklahoma State. He's hitting .205 this season, 9 for 44, 7 runs scored, 3 RBI, couple walks and 18 strikeouts. He resides in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and bats from the left side. Cabanis swings the all-orange bat and wears the black arm sleeve on the right side arm. Stands tall from the left side. First pitch fastball in there for strike 1. 0-1 on Cade Cabanis. We're in the bottom half of the second. The base is empty, 1 away. 1-0 Plymouth leads. Both teams have 1 hit in the ball game. 0-1. Fastball fouled off weakly left side, 0-2. Newport will be back in action tomorrow night when they travel out to Groton, Connecticut to take on the Mystic Schooners once again. Of course, the Gulls swept Mystic in a doubleheader here this past Sunday with victories of 5-2 and 6-3. 0-2 offering. Fastball misses upstairs. 1-2 thus far. Korzybski has been around the plate a lot here tonight. That was his first ball thrown this entire game thus far. How about that? 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout in a row. And on the evening for Korzybski, 2 away. 14 pitches thrown, 13 of which have been strikes.
It's unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, I think Korzybski just loves pitching here at Cardines. He's got 7 strikeouts now against the Gulls here at Cardines this season. On the season total, 13. He's got more strikeouts here than in any other of his 5 appearances. It's just incredible.
Certainly an interesting point. Nick Durr steps in, chops this one left side. Coming into his right is Perez. Long throw to first is high and gets away from McGuire. And Durr thought about going to second. He will trot back to first. That's going to be interesting to see how they want to roll that. It's going to be an infield hit for Nick Durr. It's a tough play for Perez. So Newport once again with another single here. 2 hits on the night for the Gulls. This one from Nick Durr brings up the shortstop, Bruce Steele, out of Wake Forest.
Yeah, that one tough. That's just deep in the hole, and it's made almost tougher by the fact that Adams cuts across. The right play out of third base there, but for Perez to then have to look it, collect it, and be able to throw almost over Adams there, just difficult to get a good throw on line. Probably wouldn't have beat him either way.
Korzybski works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. First pitch, elevated fastball in towards the hands of Bruce Steele. It is 0-1. Steele this year hitting .208, 10 for 48 with 5 runs scored and 8 RBI. Resides in Jupiter, Florida. Off of first is Durr, about a 10-foot lead over there. He's held on by McGuire. Korzybski sets a long pause on the mound. Black glove set letter high. Durr thought about going, now retreats towards the bag as the L1 misses outside, 1-1. Another fastball there from the East Tennessee State University right-hander. Tucks the black glove hip high, gets the sign from Martirano. Sets the target low and away. The pitch, curveball, swing and a miss. 1-2 on a pitch in the dirt. Excellent block by Martirano, 1-2.
Well, Korzybski was in the starting rotation. Well, started out of it, moved into it, came back out of it, now making his second start of the season again here. That 6th spot up for grabs. And Korzybski knows how important it is halfway through the season to really solidify himself if he wants that 6th spot.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the frame for Korzybski. He has 3 strikeouts here tonight. 4 hitters come up to the plate for the Gulls, but they have nothing to show for it. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no Plymouth errors. We are through 2 full innings of play here at the ballpark with your score: Plymouth 1, Newport 0. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. One to nothing, your score in favor of Plymouth as we go to the top half of inning number 3. Stepping up to the plate for the Pilgrims, the number 9 hitter, Chase Cheek. Bats from the left side here against Kyle Mora. First pitch on the way, change up, swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Chase Cheek, the center fielder out of Duke University. Bats from the left side. This year, Cheek is hitting .203. He is 13 for 64 with 9 runs scored. Looks at a fastball low and away. Levels the count at 1-1. Plymouth scored its lone run of the ball game back in the second on a single and an error. Mora winds and deals. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Chase Cheek. And I got to say, Quinn, I think Mora looks good. I think Korzybski looks good as well. Again, kind of has that pitcher's duel sort of feel to the game, at least here early on.
Yeah, more similar to the first matchup between these two teams.
1-2, change up, waved out and missed for strike 3. Excellent pitch from Kyle Mora. And for Mora here tonight, it is his 2nd strikeout. Brings back up the top of the order and Andrew McNeil, the right fielder out of Stetson. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base.
We saw the first game between these two teams, a 2-1 ball game. Second game, totally different, a 12-6 ball game, 18 runs scored here at Cardines. And, you know, that really shows you why that run is going to loom large, just how good the pitching has been so far. To have a run come in on an error could be problematic here for Mora and the Gulls.
Mora winds and fires to McNeil, a curveball that's in there on the outer edge for strike 1. Mora thus far has thrown 34 pitches, 26 have been for strikes. A 1 offering. Misses in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike, and Plymouth currently being out-hit by Newport 2-1. But yeah, like you mentioned, Zach McGuire led off the second with a single. Ends up getting to second base and scoring on the air by Gabe Snyder on a ball that was sharply hit. This one weakly hit to shortstop, charging in his steel gloves, the short hop, throw on the run to first in time. Great play by Bruce Steele. 6-3 if you're keeping score with us at home. Brings up the second baseman, brings up the shortstop, Brandon Perez out of Southern California. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Well, it's obviously early in this ball game, but it certainly has the feel of a type of ball game that the people who are trying to speed up the game of baseball would love. You've got two guys on the mound who are just pounding the zone so far, just coming in and challenging the hitters, and they've both got some really good stuff, and they're getting really weak contact all around.
Here is Brandon Perez, bats from the right side. Swings and foul tips the curveball off the mitt of DeRenzo. It is 0-1. The lights are shining brightly here at the ballpark over the 28-foot high fences. The American flag continues to wave down that right field line over top the warehouse. Mora gets his sign from DeRenzo. The target set low and away. Curveball skied in the air, shallow left center field. Oncoming is Meisner in to his left, reaches up and makes the play for out number 3. A perfect frame from Kyle Mora. Retires Plymouth in order 1, 2, 3. We will go to the bottom half of inning number 3 after Plymouth can't get any runs on no hits. No Newport errors. They leave no one aboard. 1-0 Pilgrims. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network as we go to the bottom half of inning number 3. Plymouth currently holds a 1-0 lead over the Newport Gulls as Liam O'Regan steps in for the first time here tonight. Looks at a pitch above the letters for ball 1. We will also send things over here momentarily to Meredith Pepis for a look around the NECBL scoreboard as O'Regan swings and misses to level the count at 1-1. Here is Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis to take us around a scoreboard update.
Thank you, Darren. Mystic Schooners are tied with the New Bedford Bay Sox 0-0 on the top of the 6th. Upper Valley is beating North Adams 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Keene and Vermont are tied at 1-1 in the top of the 3rd, and the Plymouth Pilgrims are winning against our Newport Gulls 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Excuse me.
Thank you so much, Meredith. Liam O'Regan was out in front. That breaking ball there from Korzybski fouled it down the third base line. 1-2. Next pitch misses upstairs, and it levels the count at 2-2. Korzybski thus far has been around the plate a lot. Deals this one a curveball check swing by O'Regan. They say he did not go, says first base umpire Michael Lum. And the count pushes full to 3-2 on the number 8 hitting O'Regan. This season, O'Regan is hitting 163. Looks at a fastball up and in for ball 4 to lead off walk to O'Regan to bring up the center fielder out of Florida State, J.C. Flowers.
Now you can see the frustration after that pitch from Korzybski. For a guy who hasn't missed the zone much at all. Giving up a walk there is a tough way to start the inning, and on a 1-0 ball game, the last thing you want to do, really.
So here is J.C. Flowers. How about the start for Flowers? 8 for 19 with 4 runs scored. He has been excellent. Swings the all-royal blue bat from the right side as he squares around the bunt and pushes through the bunt attempt and is unable to make contact. It's 0-1 on Flowers. Korzybski thus far has thrown 26 pitches. 20 of them have been for strikes. Works out of the stretch, black glove set, letter high. 0-1, curveball, misses below the knees. 1-1. O'Regan led off the frame with a leadoff walk. He's held on over at first base by McGuire. The third baseman Adams plays even with that third base bag. Plymouth's middle infield is pinched the double play depth. 1-1 pitch, curveball again, misses just below the knees. 2-1, a close pitch.
Yeah, not really sure where that one missed from Korzybski. A really good pitch there, and you can see he's starting off Flowers with a lot of soft stuff. Certainly gotten the word that he has been red hot since joining the Gulls.
Righty-righty matchup, Korzybski against Flowers. 2-1, fastball lifted foul down the right field line. And the count on J.C. Flowers even at 2-2. Flowers pinwheels that blue bat a few times from the right side. Korzybski out of the stretch. A long pause on the mound from the right-hander. 2-2, O'Regan goes, pitch in the dirt, gets away from Martirano. O'Regan will be up easy into second base without a throw. And the count moves full on J.C. Flowers, 3-2.
Yeah, Martirano just trying to jump a little bit early there to try to get O'Regan, and pulls up over the top of that breaking ball and gets right by him. Now a tight situation here for Korzybski.
Flowers wears the white arm sleeve on the right arm. Korzybski with a look towards O'Regan at second. Deals the payoff pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. It's another strikeout for Korzybski, his 4th of the game. Brings back up the top of the order, and Cameron Meisner, the left fielder out of Missouri, is 1 for 1 with a single. Big spot here, though, Quinn, for Meisner, who's been one of the hottest hitters on this Newport team. He's hitting .330 this season. Single could potentially tie this ball game. Meisner bounced with an open stance from the left side. The pitch on the way. Curveball, grounded fair down the third base line. It rolls into the left field corner, into the bullpen. Time is called as O'Regan rounds third, and he will score on an RBI double off the bat of Cameron Meisner. It's now tied up at 1 here in the bottom half of the third.
That's just a good bit of hitting there by Meisner, going with the pitch from Korzybski, who now, after looking so solid through the first 2, facing a little bit of trouble here now in the third.
Meisner now 2 for 2 out of the leadoff spot. Here's Carter Aldretti. He is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field. 1-1 your score, bottom 3, 1 away, a runner on second in Meisner. Newport out hitting Plymouth 3-1. Aldretti bats from the right side. Korzybski out of the stretch. First pitch. Curveball taken down and away, 1-0. Korzybski having a little bit more difficulty finding the strike zone here. He has now thrown 33 pitches. 23 have been strikes, but that ratio not as high as it was, at least in that first frame. 1-0 on the way. In the dirt. 2-0, he falls behind Aldretti.
What it seems to be is that he's mixing in the breaking ball a lot more now here, that he was did it a little bit early, I thought, getting to the bottom of the order, but then now here with the top of the order the second time through, he's starting to mix in a lot more. You saw the first pitch breaking ball to Aldretti, and he's not locating as well as he was his fastball.
We'll see what he decides to go with here. He's down in the count 2-0 to Aldretti. Off of second is Meisner. The pitch. Sharp ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by the shortstop Perez. He will throw back behind Meisner at third. The tag from Adams is in time. What a play by Brandon Perez. It's a fielder's choice. You don't see this all that often. 6-5, Aldretti reaches first base. How about that? What a play.
That's a great play, and you knew that Perez was going to get to that ball. He's just got so much range there. It was not hit hard enough to get through. He makes a fantastic diving play, and the awareness to come up throwing the third there, just a great play all around. And you talk about the Pilgrims' defense, it's plays like those that keep them in ball games.
What a play by Perez. Here's Gabe Snyder, the first baseman out of Wright State, 0 for 1, grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the first. First pitch, fastball blocked well by Martirano. Keeps Aldretti put over there at first base. Had to stay put there because that ball did not get far away enough away from Martirano. It's an excellent block from Plymouth's catcher. 1-0 the count on Gabe Snyder. Got a 10-foot lead for Aldretti off of first. He's held on by McGuire. The pitch on the way. Changeup, swing and a miss, 1-1.
You see him going outside of the zone now, too, to try to pick up those swinging strikes. And that's it, too. He's trying to keep it away from these Gulls hitters. Big chase there from Snyder.
Here's the 1-1 offering. Fastball off the inner edge. A back pick to first from Martirano is not in time. Aldretti back in, standing up. 2-1 on the number 3 hitting first baseman in Gabe Snyder. Newport already with 1 run in this inning on a walk and a hit. Could have been 2 runs if Perez doesn't make that unbelievable diving play up the middle. Plymouth shortstop with a tremendous play. Korzybski deals. This one skied in the air. Shallow left center field. Perez, Brumfield, and Cheek will all converge. It'll be the left fielder Brumfield to come in to his left to reach up and make the play for out number 3. But for Newport, they tied the game on 1 run. They do it on 1 hit with no Plymouth errors. The Gulls leave 1 aboard. We are through 3 full innings of play here at the ballpark with your score. Newport 1, Plymouth 1. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. I welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls and the Pilgrims are all tied up at 1. And for the play-by-play calls of innings 4, 5, and 6, we will send things over to the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly.
Thank you very much, Darren. James Venuto and the 3-4-5 hitters will be up this inning against Mora. Venuto digging into the left side here and takes a breaking ball up over the zone for ball 1 from Mora. Venuto lined out softly to third in his first at-bat. Elon designated hitter. Swings on this one and fouls it off the plate to even the count at 1-1. Venuto hitting .260 on the season, 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. Came out red hot to start the season, won that Week 1 Player of the Week award, and slumped through the middle of the season, has been turning things back on here in the second half. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Mora went to the breaking ball again, but couldn't keep it up. It's a 1-1 ball game here in the top of the 4th. Pilgrims scoring 1 in the 2nd. Newport answering back last inning in the 3rd. These pitchers have been really solid so far, staying well within the zone. But missing here again is Moore, and he's run the count to 3-1.
You definitely don't want to fall behind, this middle of the Plymouth lineup, but Mora really has been around the plate a lot here tonight. 42 pitches thrown through 3 innings, not bad at all, 30 of which have been strikes.
3-1 pitch. Venuto hit sharply to second, fielded there by Durr, and on to first in time to get him. 1 away.
A great play there by Nick Durr. Got a tough in-between hop as well, but his hands and athletic ability at second base, it's really incredible, and you can tell right there, made it look pretty simple there, and makes a strong throw over to first for out number 1.
That's a big out for Moore. He now faces Zach McGuire, the only guy in the Pilgrims lineup who has a hit today, and the only really solidly hit ball off him. Happy to not have anybody aboard ahead of McGuire. First pitch, a breaking ball, and that's going to dive right about that front corner of the plate. Be 1-0. McGuire last night going deep. A 3-run home run that helped propel the Pilgrims to victory over the Danbury Westerners. 1-0 pitch is going to miss low and away. Fastball there from Mora. Appears to have very good velocity. When he can follow it up with that breaking ball that snaps off, he's a very dangerous pitcher.
No, you bring up a great point. And also, how about the areas where he's throwing these strikes, right? He's keeping it at the bottom of the zone, right at the knees, working both corners of the plate. You're right, he really has been very effective.
2-0 pitch to McGuire. This one looked to be low, but McGuire went after it and fouls it out of play. Fighting the tough one off. And you can see Mora zeroing in on that low and away corner, trying to paint the black every time here at McGuire.
And it makes it that much more important for Plymouth when you see those elevated pitches to be aggressive.
Gets one there, but McGuire kind of cricks his neck because he didn't do enough with it, fouls that one off. And count back up to 2-2. Mora fell behind to Venuto.
Yeah, and he's battling back as well, which is great for that pitch count.
Exactly. 2-2 pitch here. Breaking ball misses away. Count runs full.
So what do you go to here now if you're Mora? Because we really haven't seen many full counts, if any, here tonight. And he's thrown that curveball out for a strike. He's thrown the fastball. He definitely has options.
Looks like he went to the curveball there, and he gets McGuire. Swings through it for out number 2.
And that just goes to show you how much confidence Mora has in that pitch. You're doing that against the cleanup hitter in McGuire, who has certainly had the most offensive success here tonight for Plymouth. Takes a lot of confidence to throw that pitch right in that spot, exactly where you want it. Mora here really looking dominant since that second inning.
3 strikeouts so far on the day for him. He's got Pat Dorian up now and starts him off with a strike on the outside. Dorian reached on that error that drove in Zach McGuire. Sharply hit ball down to first that Snyder was unable to corral. A 1 pitch. Dorian fights it off into the screen, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
You can definitely tell that Newport's offense has really found the rhythm here, already out hitting Plymouth 3-1, averaging a hit an inning. So that bodes well for, really the rest of this game, and that the fact that Korzybski has been dominant, but Newport has found some offensive production against them.
Breaking ball, and Dorian is able to just get the bat on the top of that ball and stay alive. Mora trying to run that one in on the hands of the lefty. 0-2, 2 outs here, a 1-1 ball game in the top of the fourth. Mora kicks and deals, and he punches out Dorian. Back-to-back Ks to end the fourth as Dorian chased one away. And we're heading to the bottom of the fourth after another 1-2-3 perfect inning from Mora. Back in a flash on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back from break here and ready for the bottom of the fourth. It's Quinn Kelly with Darren Zaslow, the voice of the Newport Gulls. The Gulls scorekeeper Ben Max out, and field reporter Meredith Pepis here in the booth tonight to take you through Game 3 in the 6-game season series between the Gulls and the Plymouth Pilgrims. Pilgrims hold a 2-0 advantage, winning a game 2-1 at Forges Field and 12-6 here, but a much different team for the Gulls now. They've gotten to Korzybski finally here in the third, scratching across a run to even things up and look to be in a position to try to take the lead here in the fourth.
Certainly is a huge inning for both of these teams. Newport needs to find a way to continue this offensive success that they have had thus far and continue to push runs across the plate.
First pitch, Dom Dorenzo appeared to be on there from Korzybski. Sent the line shot into the grandstands on the right side, foul. Korzybski kicks and deals his 0-1. A breaking ball, and this one is lifted into the screen and over into the stands. It's 0-2, but Dorenzo, as coaches will tell you, right on Korzybski.
And that's a very hard pitch to get the barrel on, and if you can elevate it into that particular spot on the plate, you can have success. And he goes back to it again right there.
Yeah, the 0-2, an elevated fastball, but just over the top of the zone. Wise eye there from Dorenzo to leave it alone. Now the 1-2. This one hit on a line out to center. Cheek takes a couple steps in and is under it to make the catch. Put away Dorenzo for the first out of the fourth.
And it's a great piece of hitting there by Dorenzo. He got all that. But a nice read out there by Cheek. Again, that ball hit right at you. It's hard to tell, how far it is, how deep it can make an impact here at the ballpark. But Cheek gets a great read. He does exactly what you're taught. You go back and then you come in. With that great closing speed, Cheek is able to make the play.
Cade Cabanis now digs into the left side. He fouls off the first pitch. And Cabanis, after striking out in his first at bat, is now 0 for 3 in 3 plate appearances against Korzybski. All 3 times he has struck out. First 2 looking, swinging here in the second inning of this ball game. Swings that orange team bat there. Takes ball 1, excuse me. Inside there from Korzybski, it'll be 1-1. Korzybski now kicks and deals, working quickly with nobody on. Comes with the breaking ball and misses over the top of the zone, 2-1. One away here in the bottom of the fourth of a 1-1 ball game. Korzybski's 2-1 pitch swung on and lifted foul into the protective netting. Korzybski on the day has 4 strikeouts, 3 of them coming in the second, 1 last inning in the third. Got Cabanis already once today, has him 2-2 here, looking for his 5th punch out. Zibby kicks and delivers. This one swung on, hit well out to center. Cheek a couple steps back and under it again to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down on flyouts to center.
Great job there by Cade Cabanis to keep his hands inside that baseball. Korzybski, what you can really learn from him here through these first few innings, not afraid to work either sides of the plate with that fastball. And from a right-hander, it takes a lot of confidence to be able to do that. You see a lot of players at the college level, especially pitchers, working away from hitters. And Korzybski not afraid to go on that inside part of the plate. He did that there against Cabanis, though the Oklahoma State Cowboy was able to get some good wood on that one, but right at Cheek for out number 2.
Yeah, Korzybski, in a manner, getting away with a couple pitches this inning. They've been hit right on the screws by the Gulls, but just right at Chase Cheek out in center. It's 1-0 now, 1-1, as this one is fouled off by Nick Durr. The Florida State Seminole singled in his first at bat. Lone hit in the second inning. 1 of 3 so far on the day for the Gulls. Korzybski's going to step off the back. And now back ready, toeing the rubber. Come with his 1-1 to Durr. It's a breaking ball. And again, a very close pitch there, but called a ball. Appeared it came in over the top of the zone. It shows you the late action as that one was caught pretty low from the catcher Martirano. Now the 2-1 hit sharply on the ground, fielded on the backhand by Perez at short, fires on to first, and retires Durr. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Korzybski. 3 up, 3 down, and we are headed to the 5th inning from Cardines Field and on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th inning here from Cardines Field. It's a 1-1 ball game between the Pilgrims and the Gulls. Kyle Mora has been stellar on the mound for the Gulls. He's retired the last 9 he's faced after seeing a run come in on an error by his first baseman, Gabe Snyder. He'll have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in this Pilgrims order. Starting things off, it's Jeremiah Adams. First pitch, a breaking ball from Mora. And he has seen an awful lot of breaking balls so far in his first at bat. On about 4 or 5 of them from Mora, almost exclusively working the deuce. 1-0, and that one misses away again. 2-0. Mora, in a way that we didn't see in the first couple innings, starting to fall behind hitters. It was of no matter last inning, though, as he picked up 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning. 2-0 to Adams, swung on and missed. Came right down Broad Street with a fastball there, and Adams just couldn't catch up.
He's got a lot of movement on that fastball, too. I know that he's pretty much over the top, but still, it's kind of like in between that 3/4 and over the top arm slot. He's not 100% over the top, so I bring that up because, again, a lot of movement on that fastball.
Comes with it again. This one's fouled off. So you see him fall behind with the breaking ball and then get things back into a position for him with that fastball. He's even the count at 2-2. Adams, a .236 hitter, does have a lot of pop in the bat. He's a very young kid, just turned 18. Breaking ball, he checks his swing, and the call from the home plate umpire Tom Carey says he went around. It's 3 straight strikeouts, bridging the 4th and the 5th for Mora.
Yeah, it's a great pitch there from Mora, and he, again, you can tell he's been around the plate a lot here tonight. He's thrown 58 pitches, 41 of which have been strikes, 58 through 4 1/3 innings of work. It's a very good pitch count here for the UCLA right-hander.
It looked like it might be troublesome for him after the first and early in the second, but he's really locked things down here through 3, 4, and 5. Now he's got Connor Brumfield to deal with. First pitch to him misses for a ball there. Went to the breaking ball again. Brumfield grounded out to Snyder at first in his first at bat. Looking here for the 1-0 from Mora. It's a ball over the top of the zone. Looked like he might have went change up there. Mora's going to take a long strut off the back of the mound. Both pitchers have been a bit perplexed at times by the strike zone so far tonight, but it's been fair and consistent both ways. Gonna have to work within the confines of it. This one fouled off by Brumfield. Count will be 2-1 now as he slashes that one down the third base line.
I think you make a great point there, Coyne. It has been consistent, and that's at least, a positive here, although, for these pitchers, of course, they may be disagreeing with some calls.
Brumfield takes a big swing at that, and the bat goes flying out into the stands. It would appear that everybody is okay, but a real dangerous moment here at Cardines Field. He took a hefty hack, the breaking ball there from Mora, and just launched the bat off of one of the light poles in about 5 or 6 rows up into the stands. Some team ops to retrieve the bat here for Brumfield. He grabs another one. Pine tars it up and struts his way back to home plate.
That got down way down that first base line. So I bring that up because at least you have a little more reaction time to that pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-2 now from Mora. Breaking ball in the dirt, and it's a full count. 1 out here in the 5th. Brumfield's got a lot of speed. Mora certainly doesn't want to put him on. He's had a couple 3-2 counts. He's picked up a ground out and a strikeout so far in them. Looking to find success again here against Brumfield. This one is hit out to center, and it will fall in front of J.C. Flowers out there, breaking up a streak of 10 straight retired. Brumfield is aboard with a 1-out single.
A nice piece of hitting there by Brumfield. You could tell he hit that one right off the barrel of his bat, got a fastball. And again, Quinn, we've talked about this. If Moore has to elevate some pitches here tonight, Plymouth has to be aggressive. And right there, Brumfield not trying to do too much with that pitch, not trying to hit it over the right field fence or over swing. Takes a nice controlled swing, controlled aggression right there, and Brumfield is aboard here with 1 away.
He gives way to Brandon Martirano, catcher out of UNC. 0 for 1 tonight. Ground out to second. First pitch swing, and he hits it on the ground to short. Double play ball. On to second for 1. Over to first. In time to get him. It's a 6-4-3 double play for the Gulls. Mora gets out of the inning. 3 straight 1-2-3s for him. And we are headed to the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 between the Pilgrims and the Gulls on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the order coming up for the Gulls. It's 7-8-9. Bruce Steele, Liam O'Regan, and J.C. Flowers due up for Drew Korzybski, who has worked well through his first 4. He has given up 3 hits. 3 hits on the ball game for the Gulls, 2 for the Pilgrims. And what, as we said it, called it pretty early, you did, Darren. It is a pitcher's duel, it would appear.
It's how it seems to be a lot when these two teams play, but if that's the type of baseball that you like, this is the game to tune into, and you've got an excellent defense, great pitching, timely hitting. I mean, everything that you could possibly want is on display here at Cardines Field. I'll tell you what, though, Quinn, this is a big spot here for Newport. You're getting a great outing from Kyle Mora. Newport has to find a way to let this offense continue to find the rhythm here. You got the bottom third of the lineup, Bruce Steele, Liam O'Regan, J.C. Flowers due up. A lot of speed, a lot of versatility, a lot of production from this bottom of the lineup. We'll see if the Gulls can find a way to take the lead here in the 5th.
First pitch from Korzybski here is fouled off by Steele, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Steele out of Wake Forest, one of 7 number 1 seeds for the ACC in this year's past NCAA baseball tournament. Breaking ball in there for a called strike on the black. Curling away from the righty. It's 0-2 on Steele.
And Korzybski, what has helped him here so much tonight, getting ahead. He's been very efficient.
0-2 pitch, misses up and away. Gives one back on the high fastball.
And both him and Mora really have been very efficient. They've matched each other excellently thus far.
Korzybski kicks and deals. The 1-2 pitch fouled into the mitt of Martirano. 2 Ks on the day for Steele, and he's retired for the first out of the 5th.
Korzybski with a very heavy fastball, and that's one thing that I've noticed here throughout this contest from him. And because of that, and similar to Mora, they can work both sides of the plate. Korzybski, you can tell as well, a lot of confidence here on the mound. And he has retired already 5 in a row, going back to the 3rd inning.
First pitch, a breaking ball here to O'Regan. It's in there for a called strike. You mentioned at the top of the inning the immense speed of this bottom of the order. Well, O'Regan's speed came into play, I should say, in the 3rd as he swings at another breaking ball to fall behind 0-2. That stolen base, it really goes down as a pass ball, but him advancing to second after reaching with a walk in the 3rd looms very large in this game. Korzybski misses upstairs. For Meisner, the double that came up next, if O'Regan's still at first, he might not have scored on that, especially given it got out of play. Would have been held up at third.
It's a great point. Certainly a great point. And again, it's the little things in this game. This game is not going to come down to, who hits the game-winning home run. It's going to be the little things. It's going to be the pitching, the timely hitting, and specifically the defense, in my opinion.
1-2 pitch misses from Korzybski there. Tried to get O'Regan to chase the fastball off the plate. Now he's got a 2-2. This time O'Regan checks his swing at it, but fouls it off to the backstop. He's getting a piece of the breaking ball there.
And that's what makes baseball so great, right? It's the 90 feet. It's the little things that add up to prove to be the difference.
2-2 from Korzybski. Another check swing from O'Regan. They're going to check down to first, say he did not go. That one pretty close there. O'Regan was able to hold up the head of the bat, though. Now the count full from Korzybski, trying to avoid walking O'Regan for the second time today. Comes this one hit on the ground, foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. Coach Auleva down there at third. Calling the signs for the Gulls hitters tonight. Jumped out of the way of that rocket from O'Regan. Korzybski kicks and deals another payoff pitch. And that one's in there. Called third strike. O'Regan had headed down to first. Thought that fastball to be over the zone, but home plate umpire Tom Carey does not agree, and it's back-to-back Ks for Korzybski, 2 away in the 5th.
Yeah, it's a close pitch. It might have been a little up. I'm not exactly sure. It's hard to tell from this angle, but what the umpire says goes, and Newport here needs to find a way to put the ball in play. Now we're starting to find a little bit, of an offensive rhythm with this team, but the strikeouts are starting to loom here. And again, you look at some of the differences between these teams, while the strikeouts starting to add up here for the Gulls early on.
Beautiful breaking ball there. Nabs the outside black from Korzybski. Now his 0-1 to Flowers. In there again with the breaking ball, and it's quickly 0-2. Korzybski with 6 Ks so far on the evening. Kicks and delivers. That one in there on the outside black. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. It's a 3-pitch strikeout. And Korzybski fans the side in the 5th. We're heading to the 6th inning of this ball game, 1-1 game. It's gone the official length. We know we got weather looming. 1 run could make all the difference here. Back in a flash on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the start of the 6th inning. Pilgrims and the Gulls deadlocked at 1 in their 3rd meeting of the season. Looks to be a very good one here. Quick ball game so far. We're at 7:48. The game about an hour and 15 minutes or so old. We're heading into the top of the 6th.
Well, it has gone by quickly. You've seen tons of strikeouts on both sides. You've seen excellent defense and timely hitting. That's definitely a recipe for a rather quickly moving game. We'll see how this game kind of continues here into the 6th. Can the Gulls find a way to minimize these strikeouts? And for Plymouth, can they find a way to get this offense going against Kyle Mora?
Trying to get it going is Chase Cheek, who digs in the first batter, flashes the bunt, pulls back, and they say he did not pull back. A check down to the third base umpire. Ends up with a strike on Cheek, 0-1. Well, the bad news for both the hitters, both sides of hitters in this ball game, is that Mora and Korzybski both poised to go deep into this ball game. Cheek fouls that one off to fall behind 0-2. Entering this inning, Mora with 65 pitches through 5. On the other side, Korzybski with 67 through as many innings. Moore kicks in and deals. His 0-2 to Cheek is up and away. Cheek hangs in the box, not one to really take his time at the plate. Likes to just stay in, stay locked into the zone. Hitting .203 on the season, but of his 13 hits, 8 of them have come in his last 7 games. He's been very hot of late. 0-2 pitch, swung on and fouled off. 1-2, I should have said. That one fouled off the backstop and right back to Mora.
Of course, both teams' offenses still trying to find a way to get it going. Newport out hitting Plymouth 3-2. Mora with that pitch count currently. It is at 69 pitches, 48 for strikes. He's getting ready to throw number 70 right now.
1-2 pitch hit deep into the hole at second. Nobody really there to cover the bag, and Cheek will get in. The throw gets away. And out of play, it appears, into the dugout area, and Cheek will move up to second. Showing you how that speed can cause problems on the base pass. That one hit deep in the hole. Snyder went off looking like he had a play on it, but ended up in no man's land. It was Durr who came to get the ball, and a late cover there by Mora ends up with Cheek in safely at first.
Yeah, going to be
over a second.
Yeah, going to be an error on Durr there, and that's just a tough error because it's a tough play for Mora to catch that ball on first base at such a hard speed from such a close distance. It's a tough error. It's a nice job by Durr to even get to that ball, though.
Now McNeil hits one back up the middle, and Cheek heads back to second on a diving play at short. What a play there by Steele. Dives and nabs it off a hop. Cheek had to go back thinking it might be a line drive. Steele collects himself, fires to first, and gets McNeil. What could have spelled trouble ends up a big out for Mora.
Look at it on your replay. How about that? Dives and gets the short hop, like you mentioned, Quinn. Makes an incredibly strong throw over to first base. That is just athleticism right there by Bruce Steele, and a run-saving play.
Robbing McNeil of a hit. Second time he's got 6-3 in the book against him. Now it's Brandon Perez, 0 for 2 on the day. Swings on the breaking ball, the first from Mora. Fouls that one off the backstop. Little sputter back onto the infield grass. Coach Kyle Decker, third base coach for the Pilgrims, down to grab it. Cheek with a lot of speed there, so even a slow roller that's able to sneak through should be enough to score him. One out in the inning now with that runner on second. 0-1 on Perez. Cheek takes another step on his lead. Mora comes home, though, and paints the black. Very nice pitch on the outer edge. It's 0-2 on Perez. Perez highlighted in the broadcasters' roundtable before the game. Perhaps the best hitter in this Pilgrims lineup, but he has been a bit befuddled here tonight by Mora, who seemed to have his number every step of the way. Comes with the breaking ball and misses just a tick outside. 1-2.
And that pitch count is slowly starting to increase here for Kyle Mora. Now it is up to 74 pitches through 5 1/3. So credit this Plymouth offense for really battling at the plate.
Mora looks back to second, and he's going to step off. Cheek will scamper back to the bag. Nobody covering. Durr kind of taking a step towards it and then backing off. But gets the job done, making Cheek aware that Mora is thinking about him. Mora towing that third base side of the rubber, working out of the stretch. Cheek takes off for third. The breaking ball in. Cheek is in with a straight steal to third, but Perez swings and misses for a strikeout. So the Pilgrims put a man on third, but it comes with 2 outs now in the inning.
Great throw there from Dorenzo. It was just a little bit high there. Aldretti caught it about shoulder high. You can see on your replay in front of you tons of speed over there from Cheek. This is a huge, huge batter and plate appearance for Plymouth, because if you can find a way to take the lead here in the top half of the 6th, that would be absolutely enormous for the Pilgrims.
First pitch to James Venuto, the man trying to do it, is a ball outside. Venuto has lined out to third and grounded out to second.
And because it's a huge at-bat, Mora has to find a way to be effective here. Keep that ball down in the zone.
Oh, almost misses. Came way inside. Dorenzo having to reach across his body, make the snag. Good play there. It's 2-0 on Venuto. A dangerous-looking pitch from Mora. Not the biggest backstop here, the deepest backstop at Cardines, but again, with that speed on third, anything by might be enough. Breaking ball locates the zone from Mora. Drops in for strike 1 to Venuto.
Great pitch there from Mora. Do you go back to it, or maybe does that outside curveball set up a hard fastball inside?
2-1 pitch, swung on and roped over the leaping hand of Durr into right, Cheek is in, and the Pilgrims lead it 2-0.
We said it was a huge at-bat for a reason, and James Venuto, what an excellent piece of hitting right there by the Elon designated hitter. That was an elevated pitch up and away. I'm not sure how Venuto was able to pull that pitch, but he got the barrel out in front, and there you can see it. Great effort at second base from Durr, but into that right center field alley, and a nice job as well by Cade Cabanis to cut off that baseball, because, Quinn, if that ball gets into that deep triangle out there, it could be extra bases for Venuto.
This will bring out the pitching coach, Kevin Winterroud, to have a chat here with Mora, who has been hit fairly hard in this inning. You know, Cheek didn't get him too hard, but ends up on base. McNeil ropes one up the middle. And Mora gets the help from a diving play by Steele. And there, that one hit very solidly by Venuto. Durr showing off those hops. Really got up there, but just a bit too high for him. It's a 10th RBI on the season for Venuto. He's the 4th Pilgrim to enter double-digit RBIs. And it's a very big one for the Pilgrims, who now lead things 2-1 over the Gulls here in the top of the 6th at Cardines Field. Now digging in Zach McGuire. Still 2 away from Mora. And McGuire hits this one. It's a high, lazy fly ball out to right. Under it is Cabanis, and he makes the catch to put away McGuire and end the inning. The Pilgrims, however, do strike for 1 on the back of a Gulls error and a single by Venuto to drive in Cheek. It is 2-1 through 5.5 here. We're headed to the bottom half of the 6th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here, bottom of the 6th. Quinn Kelly with Darren Zaslow, the voice of the Gulls, and Ben Maxoud, the scorekeeper for the Gulls. We're going to kick it now over to Meredith Pepis, the field reporter, for the look around the NECBL scoreboard.
Thank you, Quinn. So it looks like Mystic and New Bedford are still tied 0-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Upper Valley is leading North Adams 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Keene took a lead over the Vermont Mountaineers, and they're winning 2-1 in the top of the 6th. And here at Cardines Field, the Newport Gulls are trailing the Plymouth Pilgrims 1-2 in the bottom of the 6th.
It's 2-0 now here to the leadoff man, Cameron Meisner, up for his 3rd at bat off of Korzybski, as rain has started to fall here at Cardines Field. Korzybski comes, and this one is hit high out to left. Brumfield coming in a couple steps, and he makes the catch the first time. Korzybski's been able to put away Meisner on the day, and there's 1 away in the 6th.
Goes back to the inside fastball there. Korzybski, of course, with a very heavy fastball. Works both sides of the plate, works pretty much any elevation that he wants. He has been very effective, and if you look at it, Newport has not recorded a hit since inning number 3, and Korzybski has retired 8 batters in a row.
Breaking ball is in there for a called strike on Carter Aldretti. 0 for 2. Flew out to Brumfield and left and reached on the fielder's choice. It saw Meisner cut down, rounding 3rd. The breaking ball here from Korzybski, and that one's in there. It's 0-2. And you talk about the timeliness of hitting and runs for the Pilgrims. They pick up that run in the top of the 6th just before the rain comes down. Now a called 3rd strike for the 8th K of the day for Korzybski. That one on the outside edge nabs Aldretti.
Yeah, it's an excellent pitch there. That was on the outside corner, and Korzybski using that fastball to strike out a lot of hitters. You haven't seen that many strikeouts on curveballs here tonight, which I think is certainly interesting to note, and you have to credit the right-hander out of East Tennessee State University. He's doing a great job, and he's been very efficient.
Mixing his pitch as well, staying unpredictable. Starting with the breaking ball there to Snyder. Takes it for a strike. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Up here with 2 away in the 6th. Fastball misses in to even up the count. Past the 8 o'clock hour here on the Eastern Seaboard. 1-1 breaking ball is in there for a called strike on the inside, and that has Snyder shaking his head.
You know, it's interesting as well because for a lot of pitchers that you see, you know, the fastball sets up the curveball. For Korzybski, it's almost the opposite. The curveball has set up the fastball.
Now he gets the fastball, and it appears to be fouled off by Snyder. At first look thought that he had just swung over the top of it, but plate umpire Tom Carey saying he got a piece of lumber on it, and he'll hang back in. We're going to get another 1-2 pitch here from Korzybski.
Went to the changeup there. It was an excellent pitch.
Another 1-2. This one is fought off. Twisting foul and out of play on the left side. And again, Snyder hanging alive. Korzybski got the first 2 outs very quickly. Now Snyder trying to make him work up that pitch count, see if they can't get him out of the game. His 78th is hit on the ground foul, and we'll see a 79th here in inning number 6 from Korzybski.
And that's what Newport needs to do, find a way to make Korzybski throw a lot of pitches on the mound and maybe get into this Plymouth bullpen here at some point tonight.
Another 1-2, breaking ball fought off by Snyder. He is working him hard here at the plate.
That curveball's got a lot of late break on it too. Breaks at about that 55-foot mark right in front of home plate. It looks like a fastball initially.
Comes with it again and gets him. Back-to-back Ks to end the 6th. Korzybski cruising along through 6 innings. Pilgrims with the lead 2-1 over the Gulls after 6 frames from Guardians Field and on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here, top of the 7th, this has been Quinn Kelly, the voice of the Pilgrims, taking you through the middle innings. I thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to kick it now back over to my partner, Darren Zaslow, to take you through the rest of the way.
Thank you so much, Quinn. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls as we enter the top half of inning number 7. They will go to the right-hander out of Louisville. It is Shea Smitty. This year, Smitty has a 2.08 ERA, a 0-0 record. This is his 4th appearance thus far. Smitty has thrown 4.1 innings, giving up 1 earned run on 3 hits with 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting 200 against the right-hander out of Louisville in Shea Smitty. And for Kyle Mora, a quality outing for the right-hander out of UCLA. Did not give up an earned run here tonight, though. Did give up 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 6. Did not walk anybody. He faced 22 batters. An excellent night from Mora. He gives way to Smitty here in the top half of inning number 7. 2-1. Plymouth out in front of Newport, and we'll see what Shea Smitty can do here against hitters 5, 6, and 7. Pat Dorian, Jeremiah Adams, and Connor Brumfield. Smitty winds and deals to Dorian a fastball, chopped weakly first base side. It's 0-1 on the Lynn University second baseman, Pat Dorian. He is 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the second and struck out to end the 4th. The 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Dorian as Smitty went to an elevated fastball right there. Dorian stands tall from the left side, 0-2. Curveball misses in the dirt. 4-1. For Plymouth thus far, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. For Newport, 1 run on 3 hits and 2 errors. That's been the difference thus far, the errors. 1-2, grounded foul, first base side. We will do it again as Dorian was a little out in front of that offering from Smitty. Smitty holds the black glove, letter high, winds and deals. This one lined up the middle into center field, a base hit. Pat Dorian is now 1 for 3 off the leadoff single here in the 7th. It sets the scene for the third baseman, Jeremiah Adams, out of Oklahoma.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a trend for the Pilgrims, as it really is for any team, but out of the previous 6 innings, twice they've put the leadoff man aboard, twice he's come in to score. The 4 times that the leadoff man has been retired, it's been a clean inning for the Gulls. With Dorian on first, he's got some good speed. You got to be wary if you're Shea Smitty to not let him move around the base path.
Smitty will work out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber, sets at the belt, deals a curveball in the dirt. Smothered there by the catcher, Dominic Dorenzo. He is out of Oklahoma. 2 Oklahoma Sooners in the home plate circle, and Jeremiah Adams, the third baseman for Plymouth, and Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher for Newport. 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. It's 1-1.
Adams let a good one go by him there. you know, trying to get your read on Smitty here the first time you faced off against him, but that's a good pitch to hit on that 1-0 count.
The 1-1. Crushed. Deep left field. Sends Meisner back to his left. He will track it down in the alley for out number 1. It's an F7 if you are keeping score with us at home. Brings up the left fielder, Cameron Meisner's teammate, Connor Brumfield out of Missouri. He's 1 for 2.
To Adam's credit there, you know, he gets just as good a pitch to hit. You're really not going to do much better with it than you just did. Hit that one on the screws, but really just right at Meisner out there and left. Rain really appears to be coming down now here.
Certainly a fact, as Smitty will throw over to first to check up there on Dorian. Absolutely rain in the Newport area beginning to fall here at Cardines Field. As Smitty works out of the stretch, the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1 on Brumfield. He grounded out to first base in the second, and he singled in the fifth. Starting to pour a little bit harder here. 0-1. Fastball, ground ball, past the dive of Aladretti, the third baseman, into left field, a base hit. Going station to station and stopping at second base is Dorian. Connor Brumfield now 2 for 3 here tonight with hit number 5 for the Pilgrims.
Now a big spot here for Brandon Martirano coming up. He's 1 for 21 on the season. That one hit has been a 2-run home run. But he's 0 for 2 today, and he's come up in a couple big spots with Dorian on third, and with just 1 out in Brumfield, a runner on when runners were at a premium for the Pilgrims. Now 2 guys on here with 1 out. It's a key spot in a tight game against a division rival. It would really be a prime time for him to break out.
He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to second base and a 6-4-3 ground out into a double play to end the fifth. Newport catcher Dominic Dorenza will now talk with Smitty on the mound. Runners are on first and second for Plymouth. Brumfield off of first, he's singled. Dorian off of second, he's singled as well. And it looks like that's going to be it here as the players will jog off the field due to the rain. Quinn talked about it, and the rain has certainly made its presence known here at the ballpark. We have entered a rain delay here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as you can see on your screen in front of you. Lots of rain moving through the New England area. When we come back, we will set the scene for you, tell you what's going on here during this rain delay. And of course, we'll keep you posted upon the continuation of this game, or if they are going to call it, we'll of course keep you notified and let you know what's going on here in Newport. But the rain has made its presence known. We have entered a rain delay in the top half of inning number 7. 1 out, runners on first and second. Plymouth leads 2-1. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
I got this feeling.
And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We have entered a rain delay here in the top half of inning number 7 with 1 out and runners on first and second for the Plymouth Pilgrims, who lead this ball game over the Newport Gulls 2-1 here on People's Credit Union Fanatic about reading night. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims Quinn Kelly, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you, located in the broadcast booth behind home plate here at Cardines Field. And well, Quinn, what a game it was. I mean, lots of different dynamics here put on display. Pitching, defense, timely hitting. It's really a game that can go either way, and I'm not just saying that because it's a 2-1 game. 2 very evenly matched teams with a lot of talent on both sides, and the rain has made its presence known here in the city by the sea.
Yeah, and quite frankly, for the Pilgrims, it couldn't have made its presence known at any worse of a time. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe now because they've started the 7th inning, this game cannot be called. It's going to have to be continued, be it later on tonight or at a later date, the latter being the more likely of the 2 scenarios with a lot of rain in the forecast for the rest of the evening. But for the Pilgrims, even if you come back tonight, you've got Korzybski chased from the game because with any measure of time, he's not going to be able to come back in despite how well he was pitching and how low the pitch count was. And conversely, it's a game you were kind of cruising along. You had a little good situation going here. And I think for the Pilgrims, you'd rather have not seen that 7th inning start, but here we are. And whenever this game gets recontinued, it's a good chance for the Gulls to come right back and fight back into it.
Well, the question is, how long is this rain going to last? And it looks like a fairly large storm cell moving into and past this Newport area. There you can see it on your screen in front of you. And it seems like really this is just the start of it. A lot of this rain, of course, to our north here in Rhode Island. And there it is. I mean, it seems like a pretty big storm. Meredith, again, we've talked about the rain here making its presence known, but for this Newport team, they were starting to get rolling, and there you see it, the rain, starts to pour down here at Cardines Field.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tracking it the whole game, and I'm surprised it held out this long. We got until, usually at a normal game speed, we're probably in the 4th or 5th inning, so luckily we're here in the 7th, and I think if the rain held off for a little bit longer, we would have came right back, because Mora I believe he had 6 strikeouts. With 6+ strikeouts in this game, the innings were super quick, and everyone was upbeat and really ready to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely, and really, Quinn, the defense has been the difference in this game. And we talked about Kyle Mora, and so did Meredith. And Mora here, 6 innings pitched, gets the quality outing, no earned runs. Does give up 2 earned runs, though, on 3 hits. 6 strikeouts, no walks. He faced 22 batters. And that was the difference, though. Those 2 unearned runs helped, Plymouth gain momentum and take the lead.
Yeah, the error is proving extremely costly tonight here for Newport. And, probably better for them to have this game held off now, because the conditions slickening up a little bit with the rain. That only spells disaster for defense going forward. But it was a fantastic start for Mora. Korzybski on the other side had a very good start himself, but unbiasedly, I would say for stretches of that game, Mora looked even the more dominant pitcher. He just had the stretch from the 3rd to the 5th where it just looked like Pilgrims hitters really had no idea what to make of him up at the plate. He just had a really, really solid outing, and it's unfortunate that he's kind of on the hook here after 2 unearned runs coming against him.
Absolutely, and for Korzybski, you talk about him, the right-hander out of East Tennessee State University, has retired 10 hitters in a row. He has been incredible thus far, and you have to tip your cap to him because he's kept this Newport offense off balance here pretty much throughout the duration of this game, though the Gulls have found a way to get things rolling. Cameron Meisner 2 for 3, and you see Liam O'Regan with that leadoff walk in the 3rd. Steals 2nd, comes in to score on the Meisner RBI double down the left field line. So Newport's offense has found the rhythm at points. Of course, this game will be decided by those final 3 innings, but we have to find out, are those innings going to be played here tonight or at a time in the future? Of course, we'll get that answer to you when we find out here in the broadcast booth. But all we can say right now is that we are in a rain delay. The tarp is on the field here in the city by the sea at Cardines Field. We're in the top half of the 7th, 1 away. Runners on 1st and 2nd for Plymouth. The Pilgrims have a 2-1 lead over the Newport Gulls. This is a rain delay. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are currently in a rain delay in the top half of inning number 7. It's a 2-1 lead for the Plymouth Pilgrims over the Newport Gulls. There you can see on your screen in front of you what this storm looks like. And from what it looks like currently, of course, it is a big cell, but it is moving. And again, kind of hard to tell, but about looks like we're halfway through this rather large cell. But what we can tell you is the tarp is on the field here at Cardines Field. Runners on 1st and 2nd for the Pilgrims, and 1 out before the rain made its presence known here at the ballpark. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, and our special guest, Dave Peck, our cameraman here tonight. You may have also seen him as Newport Gulls field reporter here. His face may look familiar. And Dave, well, you're wearing your poncho. You're here with us in the broadcast booth, undercover right behind home plate.
Undercover is very nice. I was out there with on-site engineer Sam Salinger, and I'll tell you what, we saw this coming from a mile away. We had some insider information that was sent down to us from upstairs, and I tell you what, we're the first ones to know up there on top of that dugout. And once the drop started to hit us, we knew that this one was going to be a long rain delay. And it's too bad because, we were cruising through this game at a very nice pace. It was in the 7th inning, and unfortunately, this kind of puts a halt in it. Fortunately, it could change the luck for the Gulls. So far, they've been a little cold at the plate. Of course, the 1 RBI double from Cameron Meisner. What else is new there? But, again, a 2-1 ball game. I think we all expected this one on a Wednesday night to be rather low scoring against the 3rd-place Pilgrims. So we'll see. It looks like a pretty big sell. But like you said, the tarp is on. Grounds crew did an absolutely fantastic job getting that on. And it's great to see all the players hustle out. They've done this so many times, Darren, that, it's old hat for them. They just run on, and it's just a well-oiled machine.
Absolutely, and Quinn and I have been wondering, because we've been, here the whole game, how hard has it been raining out there, and how long has it been raining as well?
Yeah, it started to rain probably in the 6th inning, I would say, and it wasn't hard for a long time. And I think even when they called the game, it wasn't downpouring, I would say. It was just a steady, consistent, more than a sprinkle, but there was no downpouring. I think eventually, there was enough accumulation probably on the mound and the ball getting a little too wet. And, I'm sure they were looking at the Doppler and saw that this is going to continue for a while, so you might as well bite the bullet. It's been such a fast game that they have time to spare to kind of wait out this rain and still, get the Plymouth Pilgrims back home at a reasonable hour. Not that that's what they're worried about, but it hasn't been a total downpour.
Well, here's what I'm seeing, at least on this hourly radar. And again, we're just speculating here, but the fact of the matter, a lot of precipitation here, of course, in the city by the sea. You can see it on your screen in front of you. It looks like at the 10 o'clock p.m. mark, that's when it's really starting to slow down. If you're the grounds crew here, and you're the umpires, obviously you have a big decision on your hands. Do you wait an hour and a half and then take the tarp off and play the final 3 innings of this game? Of course, tons of pitching implications, of course, going to be in play for that. Or do you call it here, within the hour or whatnot, and have these teams go their separate ways? I think it's a big decision. I really think it's one that could go either way, because really after 10 o'clock, this storm is gone.
It's a big decision, and I'm not sure who necessarily is going to make that, if it's home plate umpire John Laghini. But, they're in the 7th inning, and this is a big ball game for these two clubs. I tell you what, Darren, it's a 2-1 ball game, and the Pilgrims have a 3-game advantage in the standings, and they're holding on to that last playoff in the Southern Division. So this one's, if you're a Gulls fan and you're a Gulls player and you're a Gulls manager, you want this one to be played.
You have to wonder, Quinn, your opinion, do you keep the game going here? Or, again, understanding that about 10 o'clock, that rain might be gone. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Really hard to tell.
If I'm Coach Zackerson for the Pilgrims, personally, I need clarification on if this game has to be continued. I believe it does. It wouldn't make sense for me for an inning to start, but then just say, okay, well, that's done. But I've been told that is the case, that just we've gotten past the 5th, so we're good to go. Though I'm unsure. But either way, if I'm Coach Greg Zackerson, 10 o'clock's, it's just late. It's late. You got a road trip tomorrow against the number 1 team in the league in Ocean State, so I'm hoping that the game just gets called if I'm in his shoes. On the other side, the Gulls know that they're going to come out facing a different pitcher. Drew Korzybski's not coming back out of the dugout for the Pilgrims, so maybe you try your luck against somebody else. And, I think just in any case, being the team that's down a run versus up a run, you'd rather see this game continue. As a player, 10 o'clock's pretty late. 10 o'clock to start up the latter third of this game, it's pretty late. You mentioned it when you were talking about it. We're lucky, really, that the game went as quickly as it did, because this game could have easily, I believe Meredith mentioned it earlier, could have easily not been a game of record length by the time we cut off here, and that would have been extremely problematic. But here we are. It is of length, and we'll see how it plays out.
Well, whenever we find out the decision, we will relay that on to you. So, all we can tell you right now, the tarp is on the field here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Top half of the 7th, Plymouth with a 2-1 lead with 1 out and runners on first and second. Don't go anywhere. Our rain delay edition here of Newport Gulls baseball will continue right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we'd like to welcome you back here to the NECBL Broadcast Network, Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as we have currently entered a rain delay here between Plymouth and Newport in the top half of the 7th. The Pilgrims hold a 2-1 lead over the Newport Gulls with 1 out and runners on first and second. This is, of course, a special edition of our rain delay segment. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside 2 players on the Newport Gulls, Cade Cabanis, Newport's starting right fielder here tonight out of Oklahoma State, and the NECBL Player of the Week for Week 4, the Stanford product, in Andrew Dashbach. Cade, we'll start with you. You're in the lineup here tonight, and the rain starts to come down. Newport starting to gain some momentum, and you talk to me about kind of the energy of this team, especially a team that's currently on a 3-game winning streak.
You know, right now we're really riding the energy that we had, like you talked about. We're trying to take the momentum we've gained in every of the last games we've had and take it into the next one. And, you know, the rain delay stinks, but when we go back out there, we need to just pick it up right from where we left off and continue on with it.
On the mound thus far, Drew Korzybski for this Plymouth team. He has been absolutely excellent. Can you talk about what you've seen from the right-hander out of East Tennessee State University?
Yeah, he's a good pitcher. He's hitting his spots, and he's doing what he's supposed to up there. And, you know, we have guys hitting the ball hard, and, you know, it's just right to people, nothing you can control. So go up there and continue to have great at-bats against them.
Andrew Dashbach was named the Week 4 NECBL Player of the Week. Andrew, how you doing over there?
You know, I'm doing great. I wish we were still playing ball right now, but, you know, no complaints. It looks like this rain's pushing off a little bit, and it looks like we're going to get going here pretty soon.
Of course, you were named the NECBL Player of the Week. Can you talk to me about what that honor means to you?
Yeah, you know, it came as a surprise. I was, you know, I think you were actually the one that came up to me and told me in BP the day after I was given that award, and, you know, it really means a lot. And I was telling guys that we were going through a tough time at that point in the season, and, you know, I would have traded that for 1, 2, or 3 wins, but it was cool to get that award. You know, Cameron Meisner, our leadoff hitter, did what I did in a week. He did it in 2 days, so I hope to see him get that same award next week.
You bring up 3 wins, and, well, this Newport team on a season-long 3-game winning streak. Cade, what has changed for this team? Because it seems to be a pretty drastic turnaround from the first half of the season to the beginning of half number 2.
You know, I think we're starting to play as a team. You know, every day we come out here and we get a little bit closer to each other, and we're starting to put it all together. You know, we finally have the full team here now, which has been good for us. You know, we've had about a week under our belt with everyone here, and I think we're just starting to play more connected together, and that's it's showing out there on the field.
Andrew, same question. Of course, Newport offensively as a team hitting .231, but are you starting to see an offensive change and progression with this club?
Absolutely. I think we're really just starting to get rolling as a team and really come together. You know, as of a week ago, there were guys who didn't know other guys' names. I mean, that's how new some of the faces were in the organization, and so I think we're really starting to gel pretty well now, and you know, the luck's kind of starting to flip our way, and so you know, I'm excited to see what happens in these next couple weeks. I was looking at the standings today. You know, all we need is a ticket to the dance. I think we're about 4 or 5 games back from getting that chance, but a lot of time left in the year to work our way up. And like I said, all we need is a spot in that playoff, and we can work our way to the championship. But you know, it starts today winning a ball game like this, and just take it day by day and pitch by pitch.
Absolutely. Well, Cade and Andrew, we both wish you the best of luck. And hopefully we can continue baseball here tonight. Once again, we are in a rain delay here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Top half of the 7th, 1 away. Runners on first and second for the Pilgrims, who currently hold a 2-1 lead over the Newport Gulls. This is a rain delay. For Andrew Dashbach and Kate Cabanis, I'm Darren Zaslow. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network as the tarp is currently being pulled from the field here at Cardines Field. It looks like we are about to play some baseball. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Quinn Kelly, and we have our assistant baseball director of operations with Zoe here to my right. And Zoe, talk to me kind of, about what you've been doing with the team thus far, and have you been enjoying your summer?
All right, so I came in as the assistant director of baseball ops under Michael Falcone, kind of not really expecting a whole lot, but knowing that I was going to get thrown into a whole bunch of roles. I quickly got here, and players kind of came in, as you see, piece by piece, week throughout week. And I really started working pretty directly with our general manager, Chuck Pava, getting the guys here, getting them settled, dealing with host family relations. I actually went to the airport 8 days in a row, picking up guys little by little. I quickly became what they call the team mom. The players call me mom here. So it's been a blast. I've had so much fun. The season is absolutely flying. I can't believe we only have 6 more home games after this. I'm sad to see it start to come to an end, but I've had so much fun so far.
Absolutely. Of course, you've had many roles with the team. What do you enjoy doing most here working with the Gulls?
I've done a lot of marketing work. I go to school in North Carolina at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. I am a marketing major down there, so I've been doing day-to-day marketing here a lot more recently since all of our guys finally showed up, especially from Omaha in the last 2 weeks. So my daily trips to the airport quickly came to an end, sadly but surely. So I've kind of turned my attention more to some marketing efforts to close out the season. We got some pretty big games coming up. We got Military Appreciation Night, Police, Fire, and EMT Appreciation Night, and we have our Mark Reed Scholarship Memorial Night coming up. So just getting those together and doing a little bit of marketing efforts, and I've had a blast doing some graphic design and stuff like that.
Of course, every night, and especially for home games, we're here at Cardines Field, such a historic ballpark. Of course, considered to be a cousin of Fenway Park and Wrigley Field, and I know at UNC Wilmington, beautiful baseball facilities over there. So kind of a different feel here, with such a historic stadium here. Of course, it's beautiful in its own special way. Has that been, an aspect that you've been enjoying, understanding the history of Cardines Field and, of course, working with all these fantastic players?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming from UNCW, especially in a college baseball in-season feel, fans there are really there for the college experience. They're bandwagons. They're there every single night, whereas here you see different faces every night, and they're here not just to see the Newport Gulls in action, but to come out and experience Cardines as a whole. The atmosphere here is absolutely incredible. We have a blast every single night, and you really can't beat coming to Cardines with your family, whether you're in town, whether you're a local. So it definitely is a different feel. I'm used to my UNCW fans, seeing them day in and day out, and here it's always somebody new, always somebody here excited to just be a part of our game day for a single night as opposed to a whole season.
Well, for those who do want to get into baseball front office jobs, or for those who do, want to be involved in baseball, from your experiences this summer and from what you've learned at UNC Wilmington, do you have any advice to anyone who is interested in working in front office in baseball?
I didn't know that's the route I wanted to take coming into college. My job with UNCW kind of fell in my lap immediately into coming into school, and I kind of just immersed myself in whatever I could get into, talk to anybody I could, getting into it, scouts, people coming through the ballpark, anybody, traveling on the road, just shaking hands, talking to people, not being afraid to get your hands dirty, literally. It's kind of what baseball takes. And not just putting myself in one position, being ready to put on any different kind of hat and taking care of different responsibilities. It's kind of, you can't really single yourself out as just being marketing or just being, you know, my head coach's assistant at UNCW and just doing his paperwork. It's being excited to learn about different aspects, because baseball is a giant, giant world, and you kind of just have to be ready to take whatever is thrown at you and put a smile on your face and be excited to learn about it. You can't really just got to roll with the punches, I guess, is what I've learned here in my little 3 years in my baseball world.
Well, Zoe, we certainly appreciate all your efforts and hard work with the Newport Gulls. Once again, we are in a rain delay here in the top half of inning number 7. It's a 2-1 lead for the Plymouth Pilgrims over the Newport Gulls with 1 out and runners on first and second. They are currently removing the tarp here from the field, so it looks like that baseball is going to continue. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we are almost ready for the resumption of play here between Plymouth and Newport. Top half of inning number 7. 1 out, runners on first and second for the Pilgrims, who lead over the Gulls 2-1. And the rain started to pour here at Cardines Field. And there you can see on your screen in front of you what this radar looks like. It looks like this storm is pretty much past us, or will be here past us within the next 15 minutes or so. And Quinn, they're removing the tarp on the field. They have it rolled from center field all the way down that right field line. And once again, on your screen in front of you, you can see how hard this grounds crew is working to clean up this tarp. And baseball will be continued. Quinn, in my opinion, I think it's absolutely the right decision. And, you know, we've talked about how, you know, the talent in this game, and, of course, how, you know, back and forth it has been. But this is the right move. Plymouth is not that far away from Newport, again, in my opinion. And the rain here, it's only, you know, 8:51 currently here on the East Coast. About another 3 innings to play or so. I think it's the right move to kind of wait out about, you know, the 45 minutes or hour that it was, and get ready to play some more baseball.
Yeah, absolutely, it was the right move. There was no reason to not continue this game, given how quickly the rain let up here. I don't even think it's coming down at all right now. It really, for a really large cell, passed through quickly, and I mean, we're ready to get going here. It should be an exciting conclusion to this game. I mean, a 1-run ball game in a game that you really feel like both of these two teams need. You know, for the Pilgrims, if they're able to walk away with this, you clinch at least a piece of the season series with Newport. For Newport, they're on a hot streak here. You don't want to kind of derail that momentum, but they're going to have to come from behind to get this one. But getting back to it, absolutely right. You know, this was the right decision to continue play, and we're just, you know, lucky that we're able to do it here before the 9 o'clock hour.
Absolutely, and we always have to give credit to our field crew because they have been excellent this year, and they always are excellent. They're doing maintenance there on the mound, also on the infield. We tip our caps to them all the time because they are a huge reason why we are able to play baseball here, and they are doing some more maintenance on the field right now, pretty much putting on the finishing touches as we get ready for action between Plymouth and Newport. Don't go anywhere. Looks like first pitch will be thrown here shortly after the resumption in this ball game. More baseball to be played here in this Southern Division matchup here on People's Credit Union Fanatic about Reading Night. And before we go into our break, we want to tell you as well what the future looks like for both of these teams. Plymouth tomorrow will be at Ocean State out in South Kingstown, Rhode Island. They'll take on the Waves at 6:30 p.m. Newport, on the other hand, they will travel out to Groton, Connecticut to take on the Mystic Schooners at 6:30. The Gulls will next be home here on Friday to host the Muskrats of Winnipesaukee at 6:35 p.m. That will be NAFSTA Newport Homes Community Night. Free Balfour Beatty stress balls will be given out courtesy of Balfour Beatty. And we'll see what the Gulls can do taking on Winnipesaukee, as the Gulls and the Muskrats earlier on this year were rained out as well. So we'll see what will happen. That is a Northern and Southern Division matchup between the Muskrats and the Gulls here on Friday night. Almost ready for first pitch here at Cardines Field. The tarp is off. Don't go anywhere. Right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Just about ready for baseball here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. After a rain delay, we are about to resume action here between the Plymouth Pilgrims and the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxow, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quentin Kelly, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Now we'll send it over to Meredith for a look around the NECBL scoreboard.
Thanks, Darren. Looks like Mystic and New Bedford are still tied 0-0 in the top of the ninth. The game in Danbury against the Ocean State Waves has been canceled. Keene and Vermont are in the top of the ninth, and Keene is winning 6-1. Upper Valley is winning against North Adams 3-1 in the top of the ninth. And here in Newport, the Gulls are trailing Plymouth 2-1, still in the top of the seventh.
Thanks so much, Meredith. Matt Murphy now on the mound for the Newport Gulls. The right-hander out of the University of Rhode Island has a 0.87 ERA. He is 1-1. This is his 8th appearance. He has thrown 10.1 innings, giving up 1 earned run on 6 hits with 4 walks and 11 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting 171 against him. Stepping up to the plate is Brandon Martirano. Both runners go. Pitch a called strike. Throw to third from Dorenzo. Not in time. It's a double steal here for the Plymouth Pilgrims. What a way to start this top half of inning number 7. What a start, Quinn, for this team.
Yeah, just completely catching the Gulls off guard. I love the aggression by Kyle Decker and Coach Zackerson coming out of the break here. That's an unbelievable call.
Next offering. Skipped in the dirt. Excellent block by Dorenzo as the Newport infield will play in. The count is 1-1 on Martirano. As Dorenzo will walk the ball back over to Murphy. Off of second is Connor Brumfield. He's singled. Off of third is Pat Dorian. He's singled as well. 1 away. Top 7. Runners on second and third. 2-1 Plymouth. Murphy works out of the stretch. The pitch to Martirano. Curveball check swing. Did he go? And they say no, he did not. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Martirano. Big spot here for the North Carolina catcher. Out of the stretch is Murphy. The pitch. Fastball in there on the inside corner. 2-2. Great pitch from Murphy. We'll get you the final line on Shea Smitty. He threw 1/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits. No strikeouts, no walks. He is responsible for Brumfield and Dorian, both on base. On second and third, 2-2. Curveball, ground ball, up the middle into center field, a base hit. Dorian will score. They're going to wave home Brumfield. He will cross the plate as well. It's a 2 RBI, 1-out single off the bat of Brandon Martirano to put Plymouth ahead 4-1 here in the top half of the 7th.
Well, we talked about it before we went into that rain delay, and you mentioned it again there. It was a huge spot for Martirano, his 2nd hit on the season, and both hits have yielded 2 RBIs for the UNC catcher, and that's a really strong way to come out of the break, set the tone for the end of this game.
Great piece of hitting by Martirano. Here is Chase Cheek. He is 0 for 2, takes a big swing and foul tips this one into the mitt of Dorenzo. It is 0-1. Cheek, the center fielder out of Duke, struck out in the 3rd, reached on an error and scored in the 6th. Off of first is Martirano. Murphy throws over. Back in safely is Martirano. Top 7, 1 away, a runner on first. 4-1, Plymouth leads over the Newport Gulls. Murphy out of the stretch. The pitch. Fastball misses in the dirt. And the count levels at a ball and a strike thus far for the Pilgrims. 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors for Newport. 1 run on 3 hits and 2 errors. Murphy out of the stretch. 1-1 pitch. This one hit in the air, deep center field. Backtracking is Flowers, gets under it, now comes in, reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2. It's an F8 if you are keeping score with us at home. Brings back up the top of the order, and Andrew McNeil, the right fielder out of Stetson, is 0 for 3. But Quinn, you see the perfect the perfect defense thus far from the Pilgrims, and they're out hitting Newport 6-3. That has really been the difference.
Yeah, it absolutely has. I mean, the 2 runs early that come in on errors is tough, but then it just came down to the Pilgrims getting to the bullpen of the Gulls here in the 7th.
Murphy will work here against McNeely. Bats from the left side. Throw over to first, back in diving safely is Martirano. It's being held on by Snyder. Plymouth scored 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. For Newport, just 1 run in the 3rd on the RBI double from Cameron Meisner. The pitch on the way. Skied in the air, left side of the infield. The third baseman, Aldretti, moves into foul territory, now back into fair territory, and makes the one-handed play as the inning is over. But the damage has been done for the Plymouth Pilgrims, as the Pilgrims score 2 runs on 3 hits, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. We will stretch and go to the bottom half of inning number 7 with your score: Plymouth 4, Newport 1. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. The bottom half of the 7th we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls trail the Plymouth Pilgrims by a score of 4-1. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxout, the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. New pitcher on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. They will go to the right-hander out of the University of Hartford in Seth Pinkerton, 6'3", 220 pounds. To tell you more about him, here is the voice of the Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly.
Thank you very much. Well, Pinkerton has been fantastic. 1.2 ERA through 7 appearances. He's also got himself a 3-0 win-loss record. He's thrown 15 innings for the Pilgrims and given up just 8 hits and 7 walks, a 1 flat whip with just 2 runs in against him. He's also struck out 9 batters. He's got a fastball that sits low 90s and has an awful lot of movement on it, and a great secondary pitch with the breaking ball.
It's a quality outing for Drew Korzybski, the right-handed starter for the Plymouth Pilgrims out of East Tennessee State University. Through 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits, struck out 9 and walked 1. He faced 21 batters. He was dominant here tonight, and we'll see what Pinkerton can do here against Dominic Dorenzo, Cade Cabanis, and Nick Durr. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 all due up for Newport against the University of Hartford right-hander in Seth Pinkerton. So here we go. Dominic Dorenzo will walk up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center field. He will bat from the right side. 4-1, Plymouth leads over Newport. The Gulls trying to get this offense going here in the 7th. Dorenzo will bat from the right side. Wears the red batting gloves, the black wrist tape. He swings the all-black bat. First pitch from Pinkerton, fouled straight back. It is 0-1 on Dorenzo. Plymouth extended their 2-1 lead to 4-1 in the top half of the 7th with 2 runs on 3 hits. Pinkerton winds and deals. Fastball misses up and in, a 2-seamer. 1-1 on Dorenzo.
Remember, before the rain delay, a streak of 10 straight Gulls retired. Now they are happy to see a fresh face on the mound, trying to get to Pink right away.
1-1 slider misses off the outer edge. 2 balls and 1 strike. The lights shine brightly here at the ballpark as well.
One thing that you won't see any difference between Pinkerton and his Korzybski is how quickly they work.
2-1 lifted in the air down the right field line, slicing foul, and ricochets off the warehouse located down the right field line. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Both of these guys without runners on, speaking of Korzybski and Pinkerton, are catch and throw guys.
2-2. This is upstairs, 3-2 on Dorenzo. Newport would love to find a way to put the leadoff man on base. The Gulls have only done that here tonight twice, in the 1st and the 3rd. Pinkerton out of the windup, the kick, the payoff pitch. Fastball, chopper up the middle. Diving stop there by Dorian. Throw to first is not in time. It's a great play by Dorian to even get to that baseball, but it's an infield single for Dominic Dorenzo. He's 1 for 3, Newport puts the leadoff man on for the third time here tonight, and here is Cade Cabanis. The right fielder out of Oklahoma State is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to center field.
Well, that's exactly what you need if you're the Gulls. You come right out, and in the way that the Pilgrims come right out of that Randall Lane and get things going, the Gulls do the very same thing.
So we'll see what Cabanis can do here. He bats from the left side, stands tall, a slightly open stance. The pitch misses upstairs to Cabanis, 1-0. So this is what Newport needs to find a way to make Pinkerton throw a lot of pitches. He has thrown 7 thus far, 4 for balls, the 1-0. This is up and away, 2-0 now on Cabanis. Cabanis takes a few practice swings there outside the left-handed batter's box. The third baseman, Adams, plays about 5 feet to his left. Pulls sign for Cabanis. The pitch runs wide, 3-0 on Cade Cabanis. So Pinkerton falls behind here. He's trying to find the strike zone, and he has thrown 9 pitches. 6 have been balls. 3-0. This is up and away for ball 4. Puts runners on first and second for Newport. It's a no-out walk to Cade Cabanis. The second base goes to Renzo. Sets the scene here for Nick Durr, the second baseman out of Florida State. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out.
And just like that, now you send the tying run to the plate. If you're Pinkerton, really flirting with fire here in the 7th inning. You're seeing it on both sides. It's so tough to come out of that rain delay and get yourself right back into the game, but Pinkerton needs to lock it down right now for the Pilgrims.
If you're Newport, how do you want to play this offensively? Do you give Durr the bunt sign, or do you let him swing away? And this year, Nick Durr for the Gulls is batting 192, 4 for 24, 1 run scored, no RBI, 5 walks and 9 strikeouts. He resides in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Pinkerton has thrown 5 balls in a row. Off of first is Cabanis. He walked. Off of second is DeRenzo. He singled. Pinkerton works out of the stretch, sets the red glove letter high. Durr squares the bunt, pulls back. Pitch in there for strike 1 on the fastball. Pinkerton certainly with a lot of velocity on that fastball. He has just struggled to find the strike zone here in the frame. Looks at second, deals the 1-1. It's a slider that misses off the outside corner. 2-1 on Nick Durr.
That's a pitch that he's not usually throwing to end up in the zone. You saw he threw it as he normally does towards that left side of the plate, trying to tail it off, but not the best call at a 2-1 count.
2-1, fastball in there on the outside corner. Now 2-2 right at the knees of Nick Durr. The Plymouth middle infield, the second baseman Dorian, the shortstop Perez are pinched towards the second base bag at double play depth. 2-2, curveball misses high, and the count pushes full. 3-2 on Nick Durr. A huge pitch going to be coming from Pinkerton. It's a righty-righty matchup, Hartford against Florida State. The payoff pitch, fastball, misses low and away for ball 4. It loads the bases. 2 walks in a row from Pinkerton. Puts Durr on first, Cabanis on second. DeRenzo moves to third. Newport in business with the bases loaded. With no outs in the bottom half of the 7th, a huge, huge spot for Bruce Steele. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Pinkerton really laboring here, but that last pitch that goes in there for ball 4, nearly the exact same spot as strike number 2 in that bat. At least it seemed from up here, and you could see him wearing the frustrations of that. But he's really got to lock it down. You know, you don't throw the first 3, you don't put yourself in the position to give up the walk.
Steele takes a fastball letter high for strike 1. It is 0-1 on Bruce Steele. Bottom 7, no one outs, bases loaded for Newport. The Gulls trail the Pilgrims 4-1. Pinkerton out of the stretch, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Bruce Steele.
This huge. If Pinkerton can strike out Steele, then you put yourself in a position where a ground ball can get you out of the inning from O'Regan. This is the biggest at bat of the game by far.
Pinkerton gets the sign from Martirano. The target set low and away. Pitch on the way, misses low and away. 1-2. Bases are loaded for Newport off of 1 hit and 2 walks. Both those walks to Cade Cabanis and Nick Durr. Off of first is Durr. Off of second is Cabanis. They both walked. Off of third is Dorenzo. The pitch, another slider, runs wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quinn Pinkerton has struggled to throw that slider for a strike.
Yeah, he has. Either he's overcompensating and missing up and in, or he's just throwing it errantly low and away. You can see him trying to get that on the outside, have it break away from Steele to Chase, but not getting it.
2-2, swing and a miss, elevated fastball, back pick to first, gets away from McGuire off the throw from Martirano. Dorenzo will score. To second goes Durr. To third goes Cabanis. It's 4-2, Plymouth.
It's just a mistake. It's a mistake for Martirano. I mean, I can understand trying to cut down an aggressive runner, but in a situation like this where the bases are loaded, you don't need to be throwing the ball around. Now it looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter, but with a guy coming up that you can get a ground ball from to end the inning, with a pitcher who is known for inducing ground ball outs, just a mistake there from Brandon Martirano.
So Pinkerton here will work against Ty Duvall. He pinch hits for Liam O'Regan, who finishes 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch to Duvall, misses up and away for ball 1. This is an enormous spot for Duvall, the Vanderbilt product this season, hitting .328. He's been great. 20 for 61 with 10 runs scored, 2 doubles, 9 walks. He has 3 home runs. He bats from the left side. The pitch, fastball misses up and away. 2-0 on Duvall.
And really the biggest drawback for the situation for the Pilgrims is that now you take that force out. Now you have to find a way to get Duvall to make an unproductive out.
It's a huge spot here for Duvall. Off of second is Durr. Off of third is Cabanis. 1 away, bottom 7, 4-2 Plymouth. 2-0. Fastball called strike, letter high on the outer third, 2-1. Duvall steps out, now digs back in. His back foot on the back line in the left-handed batter's box, which is completely worn away. 2-1. Misses up and inside, 3-1 on Duvall. So Pinkerton here thus far is really struggling to find the strike zone. He has thrown 25 pitches through just 1/3 of an inning. 16 of those have been 4 balls. Pinkerton tucks the red glove shoulder high, gets the sign from Martirano, the 3-1. Big swing and a miss from Duvall. And the count moves full 3-2.
And that's the frustrating thing for Pinkerton, being wild. He's got stuff that's so tough to get a handle on when it's in the zone. You'd just like to see him try to find a home there a little bit more.
And the payoff pitch to Duvall. This one skied in the air. Shallow center field could do the job. Going back now, coming in is Cheek. He makes the play. Tagging from third home is Cabanis. He will score as the throw pulls Martirano up the first base line. It's an RBI sacrifice fly from Ty Duvall. And the score is now 4-3 Plymouth in the bottom half of the 7th.
Well, that's a great job by Ty Duvall. Just do exactly what you need to. You bring the game back within 1. Put yourself in a great position here. Now Coach Greg Zackerson going to go out and have a chat with Pinkerton, who's certainly not out of the woods by any stretch yet with 2 outs and that man still in scoring position.
So here is J.C. Flowers, the center fielder out of Florida State. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He has his Florida State teammate in Nick Durr at second base, who walked. He represents the tying run. It's 4-3 Plymouth. 2 away, bottom 7. What a huge spot this is, and it looks like Seth Pinkerton's night is over. A new pitcher going to be on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. We will get you the new reliever's name and information, as well as Pinkerton's final line when we come back. But your score, Plymouth 4, Newport 3, a runner on second, 2 away, bottom 7. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Bottom 7, 2 away, a runner on second in Nick Durr. He walked, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. They will go to the right-hander, Jack Mahan. out of Eckerd College, a rising senior, 5'11", 190 pounds. He will face J.C. Flowers. We'll send things over to Quinn Kelly here momentarily to tell you more about him. As J.C. Flowers steps in from the right side, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Mahan enters for Seth Pinkerton here in the frame, the right-hander out of the University of Hartford. As Mahan deals a fastball low, it is 1-0.
Well, Mahan 2-1 on the season through 7 appearances. He's thrown 13 2/3, striking out 12 and walking 10, giving up 8 hits. He's got a 1.97 ERA. Coming off his toughest outing of the season, 2 runs given up against Valley in his last appearance.
1-0 fastball elevated in the zone, swung on and missed there by J.C. Flowers. It is 1-1. Final line here on Seth Pinkerton. Through 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 earned run, 2 total runs on 1 hit. He struck out 1 and walked 2. He is responsible for Durr on second as Flowers takes a curveball on the outside black, and the count is now 1-2. Already for Newport in this frame, 2 runs on just 1 hit and 2 walks. As Mahan gets the sign from Martirano and deals. Curveball, check swing. Flowers went around, and the inning is over, but the damage has been done for the Newport Gulls. As Newport pushes across 2 runs on 1 hit, they leave 1 aboard with no Plymouth errors. We will go to the top half of inning number 8 with your score. Plymouth 4, Newport 3. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls as we go to the top half of inning number 8. They will go to the right-hander out of Stanford. It is Jack Little entering play here tonight. Little with a 5.91 ERA. He does not have a decision yet. This is his 7th appearance. He has thrown 10.2 innings, giving up 7 earned runs on 12 hits, 6 walks. He also has 13 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .293 against him, and we'll see what he will do here against hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the Plymouth lineup. Brandon Perez, James Venuto, Zach McGuire all due up against Little as he misses wide with the first fastball. It is 1-0 on Perez. The shortstop out of Southern California is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Next offering, bounced to second base, picked up there by Durr. Shuffles to his left, throw to first in time. 1 away. 4-3. Perez is retired. If you are keeping score with us at home, brings up the designated hitter in James Venuto out of Elon. He is 1 for 3 with a single, a ground out, and a line out. Also the final line here on Newport's Matt Murphy. Through 2/3 of an inning, did not give up a run on 1 hit. He did not strike anyone out or walk anybody. He threw against 3 batters as James Venuto takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch there from Little. It is 0-1. The offering on the way. Skied in the air. Left center field. Going back to his left. Now coming in as Meisner reaches up and puts it away with one hand. 2 away.
Well, Little working seamlessly here through the start of the 8th. Doing a great job out there on the mound. Bucking trends a little bit. After his first appearance, not giving up anything. He's given up at least a run every time since, but looks to be very comfortable out there here tonight.
So here is Zach McGuire, the first baseman out of Michigan State, 1 for 3. Single, a run scored, a strikeout, and a fly out to right field. He bats from the right side. Swings the all-black bat, the white arm sleeve on that right side arm. First pitch, curveball, drops in for strike 1, 0-1. We are in the top half of the 8th. No one out, or 2 outs, no one on base. 4-3, Plymouth leads over Newport. 0-1. Fastball, foul tipped. Into the mid of Dorenzo, 0-2 here on Zach McGuire. He is the cleanup hitter for the Pilgrims. Swings the all-black bat, touches the barrel of it on home plate. 0-2 from Little. Curveball check swing, he did not go around. 1-2. Brandon Perez led off the frame with a ground out to second base. James Venuto flew out to left field, sets the scene here for McGuire. 1-2. Curveball just misses off the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good pitch right there from Little. That's a pitch that really has been called a strike almost all day.
Break-even delivery, fastball. This one crushed. Deep right center field. Going back, his cabin is to his right. Looks up, and it's off the top of the fence. Around first, heading for second is McGuire. He will pull in there with a 2-out double here in the top half of the 8th.
I'm shocked that one, that looked like it was well out of here. I can't believe that hit the fence.
And it looks like we have a brief discussion here going on out on the field to see, well, if that ball went out. Let's take a look at it on your instant replay. Kind of hard to tell from that angle and also from where we are here in the booth. But from what it looks like on the field, it looks like it's going to be a 2-out double unless there's evidence to tell that ball hit off that tree. I'm pretty sure, Quinn, that's what that discussion is. Did that ball hit off the tree and come back into play? That's what the question is here on the table.
It's unfortunate for McGuire because that's hit to the part of, like, there's no way to tell here with the darkness the way it is. I mean, unless you've got a real good look on it on replay, which obviously is of no consequence to them, but just kind of into that darkness of that triangle, how can you really make the call?
And they're going to say it's going to be a double. I could not tell from this angle. I think we're too far away to kind of get a real accurate view of whether that ball hit that tree, because we're really talking if that ball hit a leaf or part of the edge of the branch and then came back into play. Really difficult to tell, but McGuire is aboard here at second base off the 2-out double for Pat Dorian. The second baseman out of Lynn University bats from the left side, looks at a fastball wide of the outer third for ball 1. Dorian here tonight 1 for 3. A single, a run scored, a strikeout, and he reached on an error. Stands tall from the left side, a slightly open stance. He wears the high navy blue socks, the all-white batting gloves. Swings an all-black bat. Little sets the black glove, letter high, looks at second, deals the 1-0. This one fouled off left side. 1-1. Top 8, 2 away, a runner on second, 4-3. Plymouth leads over Newport here on People's Credit Union Fanatic About Reading Night. Little and Dorenzo agree on the signal. Looks at second, 1-1. This one chopped to third, Weekly charging in Aldretti. Tough play, Fields on the run, throw to first is in time. A great play there by Gabe Snyder to keep his foot on the base as the throw pulled him down the first base line. 5-3, Pat Dorian is retired for Plymouth. 4 hitters come up to the plate, but no runs to show for it. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. We will go to the bottom half of inning number 8 with your score. Plymouth 4, Newport 3. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as we go to the bottom half of inning number 8. Newport trails Plymouth by a score of 4-3. Top of the lineup due up for the Gulls. Cameron Meisner, Carter Aldretti, Gabe Snyder will all try and at least tie up this ball game here in the frame, and no better person than Cameron Meisner to get things started here for Newport. Tonight he's been excellent, 2 for 3. A single, an RBI double, and a flyout to left field. Meisner will bat from the left side here against Jack Mahan. The right-hander out of Eckerd College works predominantly out of the stretch. The pitch, fastball runs wide. It's 1-0 on Meisner. Meisner hitting .333 this season. He has 4 home runs over his past 3 games. He is 28 for 87 with 18 runs scored and 18 RBI. Slightly open stance from the left side, holds the hands about letter high as he looks at a fastball up and away. 2-0. Mahan falls behind. Mahan gets back on the rubber, works from the first base side of the rubber. The kick, the 2-0. Misses low and inside, 3-0. So Meisner here, you have to think the red light is going to be on here, Quinn. But again, Meisner with lots of power from the left side. He could tie this ball game with 1 swing. So Mahan has to be careful here, working against the Missouri product. He sets and deals. Fastball misses wide for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to Cameron Meisner. He has a lot of speed over there. Brings up Carter Aldretti, who is 0 for 3 with a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. He will bat from the right side. And it should be interesting to see how Newport wants to play this. Do you give Aldretti the bunt sign or do you let him swing?
Oh, you never want to walk that leadoff man, never mind when it's the leadoff man. And you said it, Meisner with a lot of speed at first, and you put yourself in a real predicament here if you're Mahan with him on. You know, what a quick turn here.
Final line on Seth Pinkerton, the right-hander out of the University of Hartford, through 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 total runs, just 1 earned on 1 hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He faced 5 batters. Working out of the stretch here is Mahan, sets the black glove letter high. The leg kick, Aldretti squares around the bunt, pulls back. The pitch is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Bottom 8, no outs, a runner on first. 4-3, Plymouth leads over Newport. Cameron Meisner led off the frame with a 4-pitch walk. The third baseman Adams plays on the infield grass. Mahan gets the sign from Martirano. Works out of the stretch. A long pause on the mound. 0-1. Misses low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Carter Aldretti.
You wonder if now he's seen a ball if the bunt sign goes back on. One of the more frustrating things for me in this league is how guys tend to try to pitch away from guys who are looking to lay down the bunt rather than just go at them, let them get it down and take the out.
1-1. Fastball misses below the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mahan just missed the bottom of the strike zone with that offering. Aldretti swings the all-black bat. The orange and blue batting gloves, the blue wrist tape. He digs back in from the right side. He stands tall. Off of first is Meisner. He walked. 2-1. Fastball lifted foul right side out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Plymouth's middle infield is pinched at double play depth. The shortstop Perez, the second baseman Dorian. The lights shine brightly here at the ballpark. The lights reflecting off the trees overhanging the 28-foot high fences here in Newport. Mahan out of the stretch. Sets and deals. Curveball, line drive, base hit left field. Picked up there by Brumfield. To second base goes Meisner. Newport in business here. It's a no-out single for Carter Aldretti. Puts runners on first and second for Gabe Snyder, who is 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, flew out, and struck out. That's a great piece of hitting from Aldretti.
Yeah, absolutely it is. You sit back, you wait, and you find your pitch and just go with it there. Take it out to left. Now 2 men aboard. Huge spot here for Mahan, and really the bullpen has just struggled for the Pilgrims after such an awesome start from Korzybski to then get to the bullpen and have both of the 2 guys up, put the first couple guys on. Frustrating for the Pilgrims.
So how does Gabe Snyder and the Newport Gulls offense want to play this? This, of course, is a huge spot. And as you can see on your screen in front of you, manager Al Leyva talking with Snyder, Meisner, and Aldretti. Snyder, of course, with a lot of power there from the left side. He could give Newport a 6-4 lead with 1 swing of the bat. We'll see how the Gulls want to play this. Snyder takes a deep breath and digs in from the left side. Mahan holds the black glove on that front thigh as he gets the sign from Martirano. He looks at second. Meisner is there, takes the walking lead. Snyder squares the bunt, pulls back, pitches a called strike on the outer edge. 0-1 on Gabe Snyder.
Well, Snyder trying to bunt here. If I'm Mahan, I'm not trying to move away from him, but I'm trying to stay on that outer half because the outside of the plate, more to righties than lefties, but all night has been open from home plate umpire Tom Carey.
Snyder squares the bunt, gets it down, but it rolls foul and is touched there by the third baseman Adams. And it is 0-2 on Gabe Snyder. So now you have to think the bunt sign is going to be off. And they will let Snyder most likely swing away, but who knows? Center fielder Cheek plays in line with the second base bag. The third baseman Adams now plays about 3 feet behind the third base bag and about 5 feet to his left. Pull sign for Snyder. Mahan sets and deals. Curveball fouled off left side. Great job by Snyder to get a piece. He was just a little late on that offering from the Eckerd College right-hander in Mahan. Aldretti is off of first base. He singled. Off of second is Cameron Meisner. He led off the frame with a 4-pitch walk. Out of the stretch is Mahan. Looks at Meisner on second. The pitch. Curveball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes Snyder for the second time here tonight. And it's a big strikeout there by Mahan. Sets the scene here for Dominic DiRenzo. He is 1 for 3. A single, a run scored, a fly out to center field, and a strikeout for the cleanup hitting catcher out of Oklahoma.
It's a huge strikeout for Mahan. Now you put yourself a pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Mahan works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. The leg kick, first pitch, fastball, called strike at the knees, outside corner, 0-1.
When we talk about it, we saw Korzybski and Mora do it well. If you can execute, just live in that low and away corner. It is you got an extra inch or two off the plate tonight.
0-1, big swing and a miss there from DiRenzo, 0-2. Newport really had an excellent start to this frame. The leadoff walk to Meisner, the single through the left side by Aldretti puts runners on first and second with no one out, but Gabe Snyder struck out. And DiRenzo here down in the count, 0-2. Mahan. Couple looks towards second. The pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes DiRenzo. Third strikeout of the night for Mahan. And it brings up Cade Cabanis, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a flyout, a walk, and a run scored. He bats from the left side. This is a huge spot in this ballgame.
Well, what an answer from Mahan. You let the first 2 men aboard, and then you go right after Snyder and DiRenzo, featuring a lot of breaking balls to get him there, but far from out of the woods here with Cabanis. You know, anything through the infield has you out of tie ball game. He's going to have to be careful with the right fielder.
Cabanis is ready, so is Mahan. The pitch, curveball, waved out and missed for strike 1. Mahan doing a nice job getting that curveball over for strikes here in the frame. Thus far, Mahan has thrown 22 pitches, 15 of them have been for strikes. Gets his sign from Martirano. And the pitch on the way. This is low and away.
And 1-1. All 3 outs he's collected have been on the strikeout. He's punched out 3 guys swinging, and you know, if that's been effective for him, stay with it. Keep away from these hitters. Don't give him a chance. Don't give Cabanis a chance here to get one in play and through somewhere.
Cabanis hitting 196 on the season. Mahan deals. This one, ground ball, right side to his left goes Dorian, makes the play. No, he bobbles it and it gets away. Picks up the loose ball. Meisner holds it third. We'll see how they want to rule that one. It's going to be an error on Dorian, but the bases are loaded. That's a tough play to make, and you could tell the first baseman, McGuire, was off of the bag. So it sets the scene here for Nick Durr. He bats from the right side. He has been excellent tonight. 1 for 2, a single, a ground out, and a walk. 2 for 3 on base out of the number 6 spot. This is a huge spot in this ball game. It's Durr against Mahan. Florida State against Eckerd College. A righty-righty matchup. Mahan gets the sign from Martirano. Works out of the stretch. First pitch. Curveball misses low for ball 1. It's 1-0 on Nick Durr. The bases are loaded. Bottom 8, 2 away, 4-3 Plymouth leads. Cameron Meisner represents the tying run. He takes a walking lead off of third base. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses low and away. 2 balls and no strikes on Nick Durr. And Plymouth catcher Martirano will talk with Mahan on the mound.
Yeah, that's smart with 2 balls. You got to stop the bleeding early. There's nowhere to put Durr here. If Mahan can't find a way to get back in the zone, you walk in the tying run.
Newport in this frame got off to an excellent start with the leadoff walk to Meisner and the single to Aldretti. But 2 strikeouts followed by Gabe Snyder and Dominic DiRenzo. Cade Cabanis reached on the error by the second baseman, Dorian. It sets the scene here for Durr. Mahan sets the black glove, letter high, 2-0. Fastball in there on the inside corner for strike 1, now 2-1. Thus far for Mahan, he has thrown 26 pitches, 16 have been for strikes and 10 for balls. Mahan, again, gets back on the rubber, 2-1. This one plugs Durr on the front side elbow. It's going to tie the ball game. Coming in to score is Meisner, and we're all tied up at 4. It's an RBI hit by pitch by Nick Durr. How do you like that? Newport ties the ball game. Bases are still loaded. As up to second base goes Cabanis, to third base goes Aldretti. Nick Durr aboard off the hit by pitch. And it looks like we're going to potentially have a pinch hitter here. How does Newport want to play this? It looks like Andrew Dashbach is getting ready to walk up to the plate. And that's what it's going to be. What a spot this is for Andrew Dashbach. He will pinch hit for Bruce Steele, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Andrew Dashbach will step in, and he has been great this year. .325 batting average, 26 for 80, 15 runs scored, 15 RBI. He has 3 home runs this season. So here we go. Andrew Dashbach will step in from the right side. Mahan works out of the stretch. Pitch on the way. Curveball in there for strike 1 on Andrew Dashbach. Dashbach is ready. So is Mahan. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken low and away. 1-1 on Dashbach.
Now you see Maturano playing a little bit of games with Aldretti on third, turning and looking back to the backstop, taking a quick step back as though the ball had gotten by him. Aldretti not fooled at all, though.
Next offering, misses upstairs and inside, 2-1. It was a breaking ball.
Mahan really flirting with fire there, coming up high again to Dashbach, trying to start the breaking ball high and drop it low, and almost hits another batter.
So here we go. Dashbach still stands from the right side. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was an outside fastball there to Dashbach. What a big spot here. Off of first is Durr. He was hit by a pitch. Off of second is Cabanis. He reached on an error. Off of third is Aldretti. He singled. Already 1 run in the frame for Newport. Mahan gets the sign from Maturano and sets. The 2-2. Fastball skied foul, right side over the dugouts and out of play. Dashbach stays alive here in a pinch hit situation. So here we go. Andrew Dashbach, the Stanford product, steps back in, adjusts his helmet, pinwheels the black bat. Mahan is ready. So is Dashbach. The break-even delivery. Fastball misses low and away for ball 3. The count pushes full. So here's the situation. Each runner will be off with the pitch. The Plymouth infield will have to throw across the first base on a ground ball. What a spot for Dashbach against Mahan. Biggest pitch of the ball game up until this point. Mahan out of the stretch. All runners go. The pitch. This one skied in the air. Right side of the infield. The second baseman, Dorian, goes back, comes in, reaches up, puts it away, and the inning is over. But the damage has been done for the Newport Gulls as they get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 3 aboard with 1 Plymouth error. We will go to the top half of the 9th. What a ball game it is here in the NECBL Southern Division with your score. Plymouth 4, Newport 4. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Couple defensive changes for you here as we go to the top half of inning number 9. Andrew Dashbach now at third base. Carter Aldretti moves from third base to shortstop. Once again, Dashbach at third, Aldretti at shortstop. Jack Little still on the mound for the Newport Gulls. He deals a strike in there to Jeremiah Adams. Third baseman out of Oklahoma is 0 for 3. It's 0-1. Little and Dorenzo agree on the signal. Next pitch. Fastball taken down and away, 1-1. Little holds the black glove in front of his face. Gets the sign from Dorenzo, the pitch. Fastball just misses off the inner edge. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. So we'll see what Little decides to go with. It's 2-1. The offering. Fastball taken down and away now. 3-1 on Jeremiah Adams. Grounded out to shortstop in the second. Struck out in the 5th. Flew out to left field in the 7th. Jack Little, Newport's 4th pitcher used here tonight, has already thrown a scoreless inning. He deals the 3-1. Curveball in there for strike 2. Quinn, that takes a lot of confidence. A 3-1 pitch to go to the curveball.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. I mean, that's just knowing that you've got secondary stuff that you are confident you can throw for strikes.
Little and Dorenzo agree on the signal. The payoff pitch on the way. Curveball, check swing. He went around. Strike 3. What a pitch from Little for out number 1.
That's unbelievable that the call right there wasn't on the swing. You could see Adams looking back, questioning whether or not it was on the swing because you saw Carey didn't point to him or anything. But that's a huge pitch there. That's no on the umpire. Great job by Little there. A beautiful breaking ball that completely fooled Adams.
What a pitch. And we'll see what Connor Brumfield can do. He's been great out of the number 7 spot for the Pilgrims. 2 for 3, 2 singles, a run scored, and a ground out. First pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. How about Jack Little here out of the Newport bullpen? He's throwing strikes. He's being effective. Works quickly. Winds and deals. Fastball in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Connor Brumfield out of Missouri.
You got to just press the issue a little bit more here if you're the Pilgrims. Be up there swinging.
Little winds and fires. Fastball misses about eye high there for Brumfield. 1-2. We are in the top half of the 9th. Base is empty. 1 away. Plymouth and Newport are all tied up at 4. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled off left side. Will get out of play. Nice job there by Brumfield to stay alive and get a piece of that one. Brumfield adjusts his helmet, now does maintenance in the left-handed batter's box as he digs back in. The 1-2 from Little on the way. Here it is. Changeup misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. When you look at the hit column here, Plymouth out hitting Newport 7-5. Both teams have committed 2 errors. Those 2 errors by Plymouth, very uncharacteristic. The 2-2 fastball, weakly fouled straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a nice defensive swing, though, by Brumfield. Really just got a piece of that on a ball that was probably out of the zone, but with 2 strikes on you, you gotta go after that.
Little and Dorenzo agree on the signal. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Fastball grounded to short. Gloved there by Aldretti. Throw to first is in time. 6-3. Connor Brumfield is retired. Here's the catcher, Brandon Martirano out of North Carolina. He is 1 for 3. We'll see if Newport can make it 2 comeback victories in a row. And, of course, if the Gulls are going to win this game, it is going to be in walk-off fashion. Again, that could be for the 2nd game in a row. Little will face here Martirano. Righty-righty matchup. Fastball, called strike outside corner, 0-1. The shortstop, Aldretti, plays about 7 feet to his left, closer towards that second base bag up the middle. The 0-1. Curveball drops in for strike 2.
That's a beautiful breaker there from Little. Nice tight snap to it. Starts at middle, ends it on the black. Beautiful pitch.
Little 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. He has retired 3 hitters in a row. He winds and fires. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Great pitch from Jack Little. His 2nd strikeout of the night. Retires Plymouth in order. 1, 2, 3 for the Pilgrims. No runs on no hits, no Newport errors, none left aboard. If the Gulls are going to win it, it's going to be walk-off fashion. We will go to the bottom half of the ninth, all tied up at 4 here between Plymouth and Newport, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. We are all tied up at 4 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 9. They will go to the right-hander out of the College of the Holy Cross, a rising junior from Woodland Park, New Jersey. It's Declan Cronin. To tell you more about him, here's the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly.
Thank you very much, Declan Cronin. 7 appearances this season. He's thrown 8 1/3. He's typically a one-inning kind of guy, but he is locked down in that one inning. He's got a 1.08 ERA. Giving up just 4 hits and 6 walks through those 8 1/3. He's also struck out 12 batters and has given up just 1 earned run this season. He's got 2 saves for the Pilgrims, just looking for a hold here and to send us to an extra frame.
Final line on Jack Mahan, the right-hander out of Eckerd College, through 1.1 innings. Gave up one run, it was not earned, on 1 hit, struck out 3, walked 1. He faced 8 batters. This is the 4th pitcher of the night used by the Pilgrims. Here is Ty Duvall. He will bat from the left side. He had an RBI sacrifice fly back in the 7th when he pinch hit for Liam O'Regan. The designated hitter out of Elon was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. First pitch to Duvall in there for strike 1. It is 0-1 on the Vanderbilt designated hitter. Cronin holds the black glove in front of his face. The slow windup, the leg kick, the delivery. Big swing and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt. 0-2.
Well, that's Duvall going up there, anxious and eager to do something, swinging at a pitch that bounced in well ahead of the plate. Puts him in an 0-2 hole here. Now Cronin just trying to get that first man out. Both teams have really been bitten today when they've let the leadoff man on.
Cronin winds and deals. Curve ball, strike 3 called, outside corner, down looking goes Duvall. First strikeout of the contest for Cronin. And this is out number 1. Brings up J.C. Flowers, the center fielder out of Florida State, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts here tonight. Flowers hitting .364. He's 8 for 19 with 4 runs scored, no RBI, no walks, 5 strikeouts, resides in Orange Park, Florida. First pitch from Cronin, fastball in there for strike 1 on the outer edge. Bottom 9, 1 out, bases empty. Plymouth and Newport all tied up at 4. Flowers is ready, so is Cronin. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, elevated fastball up and inside, 0-2.
Nice pitch there by Cronin. It just didn't look like Flowers could catch up to it. He's been a tick late on almost everything tonight.
J.C. Flowers steps back in from the right side. Cronin and Martirano agree on the offering. The target set high. The pitch. Check swing on a fastball. They ask if he went around, and they say he did go around. So it's the 2nd strikeout for Cronin, 4th time tonight. Flowers has gone down on strikes. Brings back up the top of the order, and Cameron Meisner, he's been great. 2 for 3, a single, a double, a walk, a run scored, and a fly out to left field. He bats from the left side here. Open stance. The pitch from Cronin. Fastball in there for strike 1. 0-1 on Cameron Meisner. 2 strikeouts to Ty Duvall, and J.C. Flowers sets the scene here for Meisner with 2 away. Bases empty, bottom 9, 4-4 your score. The pitch. Skied in the air. Pretty much center of the infield. The third baseman, Adams, comes in, reaches up, and puts it away as he falls to a knee right in front of the pitching mound for out number 3. We are going to extra innings for the 2nd game in a row. We are all tied up at 4 as Newport is retired in order 1-2-3 by Declan Cronin. For Newport, no runs, no hits, no Plymouth errors, none left aboard. We go to the top half of the 10th, all tied up at 4. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Extra innings here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. As we go to the top half of the 10th, Newport and Plymouth are all tied up at 4 for the play-by-play call. At the top half of the 10th, here's the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly.
Thank you very much, Darren. Chase Cheek digging in, takes ball 1 up and away to start off his at-bat here facing Jack Little for the first time. He and Andrew McNeil, who will bat after him, the only two who have yet to face the righty. 1-0 pitch, and Cheek chases up and away. It's 1-1. Cheek on the day has reached once with an error and came around to score. Pilgrims have been very successful when leading off innings with Cheek of late. Cheek slashes this one foul and out of play on the left side. They love Cheek to get on very much. The second leadoff hitter. The ideal from a 9-man, but down in a 1-2 hole here. Takes ball 2 to even up the count, and it's 2-2. It'll be Cheek, McNeil, and Perez behind him. That one bounces in to send the count to full. Little has been strong here. He's retired 6 of the 7 batters he faced, excuse me. The one a double by McGuire on a deep shot to right center. 3-2 pitch, this one hit on the ground. Fielded at second, no, bobbled. Cheek hustling down, and he'll beat out the throw. That's going to be an error on the second baseman, Durr, as that one took a tough hop on him and kind of exploded into his stomach. He wasn't able to get it in the glove, and an error again, the third of the day for the Gulls. The first 2 have proven quite costly.
Yeah, again, just kind of took a tough in-between hop there. You could see Durr bobbling it, regathering, and then the throw over to first, not in time. And credit Cheek there, hustling down to first. And again, it may have looked like a rather routine ground ball. It was hit pretty hard, though, at Durr. But that's why you have to hustle down that first base line. You have to make it tough for whoever is fielding that baseball. And Cheek aboard here. Do you put him in motion? Do you maybe play small ball with Andrew McNeil? We'll find out here momentarily.
Well, the Gulls are expecting the small ball play. They've got the third baseman, Andrew Dashbach, pulled way in. About 5 or 6 steps on the grass. They're going to get it. McNeil flashes and fouls it off. It'll be 0-1.
Bunting with a wood bat, I cannot say, how much different it is than bunting with metal. It's really an underrated trait to be able to bunt with a wood bat in college. It really is. We've seen numerous failed bunt attempts here tonight, Quinn, and the situational hitting, I think, right now, and of course the defense, it's going to be the difference in this ball game.
It's something I talked about in our last broadcast, as McNeil is not bunting here, takes a breaking ball in there for strike 2. It's 0-2 on the Stetson right fielder. It's something where you're in a league with so many guys who are just coming off their freshman year, maybe didn't get all the at-bats they'd like at school, and came out of high school where they were never in a situation to be asked to bunt. So it's something that these guys haven't really been taught to do and haven't done effectively yet at any level. Now McNeil looking to swing, needs a hit here. They're going to check on Cheek. He'll dive back in. For the Gulls, you got to feel good about the part of the order that's up here. McNeil and Perez combined 0 for 8. Each of them 0 for 4 on the evening. For the Pilgrims, they're 2 solid hitters at the plate. You got to feel like they're due. Little comes now, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. McNeil chases it upstairs, out number 1 for Little. And Cheek stays there at first.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, and you see how a failed bunt attempt changes the entire complexion of that at-bat. And that's just how it is. It's not really something that you think about, especially when you're teaching baseball. What's the difference? You're bunting between, a metal bat and a wood bat. The form is still the same. The approach is still the same. It's a completely different feel when it comes off a metal bat barrel or a wood bat barrel. It's really significantly different.
We're going to check on Cheek here before Little starts the at-bat for Perez. The interesting thing for me is that, McNeil misses on the attempt with one on the first pitch. You were willing to do it so clearly in that first pitch. Why not try again then with the 1 strike on you? Were you just afraid that he wouldn't be able to get it down again, and now you're in an 0-2 hole? Just an interesting thought process there. I was a bit surprised not to see McNeil try to lay one down.
You wonder if you can't bunt the fastball, what makes you think you can bunt the curveball, pitch that move? So, you bring up a great point.
Now the first pitch to Perez. That one misses off. A pitch that we've seen called the other way really all night long. And the Newport faithful has been letting home plate umpire Tom Carey hear it for quite some time here. A lot of passion for these Gulls and baseball in general here at Cardines Field. We're going to get another check on Cheek as he dives back in safely. Little nods on the sign. Ready for the 1-0 here to Perez. Cheek takes off. Straight steal, no protection. Cheek not in there. The throw down gets him. Great throw by Dom Dorenzo. The tag applied by Durr, and they erase Cheek.
Quinn, it's not going to go down in the scorebook as much, but that backhand pick there by Nick Durr and applying that tag, that is absolutely incredible. An unbelievable play there by Nick Durr. Great hands, great athleticism, great vision by the Florida State product.
1-1 now to Perez. Breaking ball misses away, and it's 2-1. Just like that, the Pilgrims have their base runner erased, and now Little just an out away from getting out of this inning. Kicks and deals the 2-1 to Perez. Swung on, lifted foul into the protective netting.
Quinn, we've talked about the little things here, errors, situational hitting, getting bunts down, stolen bases. Those plays, the backhand pick on that tag, that would absolutely go down in that department as a game-changing play.
Certainly making amends for his earlier error was Durr there, the error that put Cheek on. His little misses up and away, and it's 3-2. And for the Pilgrims, frustration here if Little walks Perez. Rather than one out and a man in scoring position, there's a man at first with 2 outs. But a long way from that, Perez fists one off. Back up on top of the roof here that sits over the stands behind home plate. We'll do it again.
What an impressive job there by Perez to even get a bat on that baseball. A pitch that was running up and in towards his hands. He keeps his hands inside the ball and gets a piece.
And a payoff pitch. It's a hard hit. One hopper to short, fielded by Aldretti, and on to first in time to get Perez. So, after all that, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Little, who has cruised along so far tonight. We're heading to the bottom of the 10th. The Gulls trying to walk things off on the Pilgrims here at Cardines and on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
To the bottom half of inning number 10 we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Plymouth and Newport all tied up at 4. Before we get things going here in the bottom half of the frame, we'll send things over to Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis for a look around the NECBL.
Looks like us and Mystic and New Bedford are the only teams still playing there, still tied up 0-0 in the top of the 9th. Keene Swamp Bats won against Vermont 6-1, and Upper Valley Nighthawks also won against North Adams 3-1. And here in Newport, we are tied 4-4 in the bottom of the 10th.
Thank you so much, Meredith. Here we go. Carter Aldretti, hitters 2, 3, and 4 due up for Newport, along with Gabe Snyder and Dominic Dorenzo here against Declan Cronin. The right-hander out of the College of the Holy Cross, a rising junior, resides in Woodland Park, New Jersey. Enters his second frame of work. Faces Aldretti here, first pitch. Misses down and away for ball 1. Aldretti here tonight is 1 for 4, a single, a strikeout, a ground out, and a flyout. Bats from the right side. Cronin, the slow windup, the 1-0. Changeup. Misses below the knees. 2-0 on Aldretti. Center fielder Cheek plays exactly in line with the second base bag. The third baseman Adams a little bit closer towards that third base line, and no doubles. Depth. 2-0. Chopper to short. Picked there by Perez. Sets his feet. Throw to first. Caught there. Head high by McGuire. For out number 1. Aldretti is retired. 6-3, brings up Gabe Snyder, the first baseman out of Wright State. He is 0 for 4.
That's a good play there by Perez. It'll kind of underrated, but he sat back on that one and let it take that final hop so it didn't kind of short hop him, and was confident in his throwing arm to be able to sit back and then still fire across in time to get Aldretti.
So Gabe Snyder will step in here for Newport. Looks at a fastball up and away for ball 1. Snyder here tonight. grounded into a double play, flew out to left field, and has struck out twice. The 1-0 from Cronin. Fastball chopped to second. To his left goes Dorian. He bobbles, gathers, he has no play. Gabe Snyder reaches. We'll see how they want to rule it. It's going to be an E4 on Dorian. It's another error for this Plymouth defense, the third of the ball game for the Pilgrims. Quinn, that's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I mean, and the previous one proved very costly for the Pilgrims. And, you know, tough day for Dorian. The last two plays, they've been really tough there at second. He's had a range a long way, but he's normally very sure-handed, touted for his defense, and to come up empty in back-to-back attempts has got to be frustrating.
Dominic DiRenzo, can he do it again? Bats from the right side was Monday night's walk-off hero. The pitch. This one drilled! Deep left field, going back is Brumfield, looks up! It's off the top of the fence, around second, heading for third is Snyder. They will hold him there. It's a long single from Dominic DiRenzo. He almost did it again. What a piece of hitting. It sets the scene for Cade Cabanis. Wow.
Well, that's a great bit of hitting by DiRenzo there. It puts you just a little fly ball away from winning this ball game. But he's at first right now because he pimped that one very hard. He didn't leave the dirt around home plate until the ball hit the wall. That is a very I mean, it's not going to be a costly error. He's the trail runner. It doesn't matter, but he was really looking for that second walk-off.
Here is Cade Cabanis. The corners play in, the middle plays halfway. The pitch, fastball in there for strike one on Cade Cabanis. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Off of first is DiRenzo. Off of third is Snyder. Snyder represents the winning run. Cabanis is ready. So is Cronin. The 0-1. Curveball drilled foul down the right field line. It's out of play. 0-2 on Cabanis. This is an absolutely huge pitch between Cronin and Cabanis. Lots of fans on their feet here at Cardines Field making some noise. 4-4. Bottom 10, one away. Runners on the corners. Sets the scene here for Cabanis. Cronin sets at the belt. The 0-2. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes Cabanis. It sets the scene for Nick Durr.
Well, that's a good response from Cronin. Have confidence. You throw that breaking ball. You also trust Martirano behind the dish because that one dove towards the dirt, and with a guy on third, just a ball call, but he gets him. Really nice pitch there.
Can the Gulls walk off again? Here's Durr. First pitch. Misses above the letters. It's 1-0. Durr here tonight on base 3 out of 4 times. He's 1 for 2 with a single, a ground out, a walk, and a hit by pitch. He bats from the right side against Cronin. Sets at the belt. The 1-0. In the dirt. Great block by Martirano. 2 balls and no strikes on Durr.
And that's Cronin feeling the pressure of the situation, just way overthrowing that one and really spiking it a good foot or two in front of the plate. And have to be careful now. Behind 2-0, obviously if you walk this guy, it's really of no concern. The only runner that matters right now is Snyder standing on third.
The 2-0. Fastball skied in the air down the right field line. Going back to his left, now coming in as McNeil reaches up, makes the play. We're going to the 11th. Here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are all tied up at 4 apiece here in the NECBL's Southern Division. For Newport, no runs. On 1 hit, they leave 2 aboard with 1 Plymouth error. Let's go to the top half of the 11th. All tied up at 4 here in Newport. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. What a ball game it has been. We will go to the top half of inning number 11 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are all tied up at 4 apiece. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, new pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls. They will go to the right-hander out of the University of New Haven. It is David Palmer, a 6.48 ERA. He is 0-3. This is his 8th appearance. He has started 5 games, has thrown a team-high 25 innings, giving up 18 earned runs on 31 hits. He has struck out 26. Opponents are hitting .279 against him. And for the play-by-play call of the top half of inning number 11, we'll turn it back over to the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly.
Thank you very much, Darren. It'll be James Venuto leading things off. Venuto 1 for 4 tonight, but a key 1 for 4. Had an RBI single back in the 6th, the second of the Pilgrims' 4 runs. Last run scored before this game went into rain delay. We are in the 11th inning here. Palmer's first. He kicks and deals, fires in a strike. The fastball there to Venuto.
Yeah, great job there by Palmer. We will also get you the final line on Jack Little. He was excellent out of the Newport bullpen.
That one misses inside. Went with the breaking ball, did Palmer. And it'll even up the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch misses up and away. 2-1 to Venuto.
Little through 3 scoreless innings, gave up just 1 hit, struck out 3, did not walk anyone, faced 10 hitters.
This one misses again, and it is 3-1. Palmer in danger of walking the leadoff man. Pitch to Venuto, swung on and fouled, Well out of play on the left side, so the count will be full.
That ball was well struck there off that bat of Venuto, and certainly Venuto has lots of power from the left side.
Payoff pitch, in there, called third strike. Venuto let it go by him. He's going to take his time getting out of the box there. Not happy with the call from home plate umpire Tom Carey. That'll now bring up Zach McGuire. McGuire, who appeared to be, if anything, just feet away from a home run that, looking back, would have perhaps ended this game. Now comes up in a big spot here in a 4-4 tie in the 11th with 1 away for the Pilgrims. He takes ball 1 from Palmer.
Plymouth has struck out 10 times here tonight.
1-0 breaking ball, and McGuire a little bit early on it. Pulls it foul down the third baseline. Count evened up here. Palmer misses away, went with the breaking ball there and just pulled it a bit too far off the outside edge. It's 2-1. Now comes in. This one fouled off. The count will be 2-2 now on McGuire. Palmer, after a fantastic performance, 6-inning, 1-run effort in Mystic on the 24th. His last 2 appearances have been troublesome, as this one is fouled off by McGuire, and it appeared to hit the home plate umpire Tom Carey, maybe underneath the mask. He is down, and attendants running out to check on him.
Yeah, not sure exactly where that one got him, but certainly sounded tough. Yeah, hard to tell. Maybe the shoulder area.
Well, he is still down. He is moving. He's not in any position where you'd think necessarily a head injury or anything, but he does appear to be in some serious pain.
Yeah, you could tell that there was contact made there by McGuire, and now he's up onto his feet.
And he's going to get a cup of water from one of the Gulls coaches, bringing it out for him. It looks like, yeah, he's motioning to his neck, explaining to the other umpires that it caught him on the side of the neck. Always a scary situation. So little of your body left open with all the protective padding, but sometimes the balls just find their way through the nooks and crannies. Well, he appears ready to go. It's going to be a 2-2 count on McGuire. Palmer working on him. He's got 1 out here in the 11th, a 4-4 ball game. 10:30 now here in Newport. With that rain delay's help, the game about to pass the 4-hour mark.
Talked about Plymouth striking out 10 times tonight. Newport, 16 strikeouts. So both of these pitching staffs here tonight have really been put on display.
2-2 pitch now to McGuire upstairs. The count runs full. Tone was certainly set by the Pilgrim starter, Drew Korzybski, who fanned 9 in his 6 innings of work. Now another payoff pitch from Palmer. Breaking ball to McGuire, a lot of confidence there, but it is fouled off, narrowly skittering past the third base bag on the left side for a foul ball. We'll do it again.
Yeah, you bring up a great point there with the confidence and going to that breaking ball on Palmer. You can practice that as much as you want, but in game, it's a completely different situation.
Another payoff bid. This one hit weakly to short, charging in and making the play is Aldretti to retire McGuire. 2 away for the Pilgrims here in the 11th.
Yeah, great play there by Carter Aldretti. Gets a clean hop there, a high hopper off the lip of the infield grass. Made a nice throw on the run as well. He is so athletic out there. We've seen Aldretti make numerous sensational plays this year and made that one look easy out there for Newport.
So now Pat Dorian going to dig in, swinging, taking a big hack at the first from Palmer and comes up empty. Dorian on the ball game tonight has reached twice, once on an error back in the second that brought in Zach McGuire. As he fouls this one off to bring the count to 0-2. He's also singled and scored that in the 7th inning, surrounded by a strikeout and a ground out.
Well, what has allowed Palmer to be so effective? He's thrown a lot of strikes. 16 pitches thrown, 10 for strikes. He's been around the plate a lot.
This one misses. It'll be 1-2 now. Pitch from Palmer. Upstairs, a breaking ball. Dorian chases, hits it high. Under it is Dorenzo, and he makes the catch. Great job there to track that ball and put Dorian away. We're headed to the bottom of the 11th here, 4-4 ball game. Gulls will have a third chance to try to take it in the bottom of the 11th when we come back on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
To the bottom half of inning number 11 we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. New pitcher on the mound for the Plymouth Pilgrims. They will go to the right-hander Connor Speed. 6'1", 175 pounds, resides in San Diego, California. Is a Bates College product. He's a rising senior. And we will see what Speed can do. Enters play here tonight, a 4.22 ERA, 9 appearances. 10.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, has given up 5 earned runs, 8 walks. He has struck out 9. Opponents are hitting just 158 against him. And he will go to work against hitters 7, 8, and 9 in the Newport lineup. Andrew Dashbach, Ty Duvall, and J.C. Flowers.
Well, in the last couple of appearances for Speed, he has been roughed up a bit, giving up 4 in his last one and the one before that after carrying a 0 ERA through his first 7 appearances.
Here is Dashbach, first pitch. Misses off the inner edge, 4-1 on Andrew Dashbach. The Stanford product here tonight is 0 for 1 with a pop out to the second baseman. He pinch hit for Bruce Steele in the 8th. This one popped up softly, third base side. Coming in is Adams. He reaches up and puts it away for out number 1. It brings up Ty Duvall. And this is a huge spot for Duvall. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI sacrifice fly and a strikeout. He's hitting .323 this season. It's a great job there by Speed to retire Dashbach.
Yeah, Speed's been fantastic when given the chance to work a clean inning. The last 2 appearances for him, he's come in with runners on, and he's just kind of spiraled and continued to hurt the Pilgrims in what has already become a tough situation, but working a clean inning, he's been fantastic.
Misses wide to Duvall right there. It is 1-0 on the Vanderbilt designated hitter. Here is the 1-0. Slider swung on and missed there by Duvall. 1-1. Final line on Declan Cronin. Out of the College of the Holy Cross through 2 scoreless innings, struck out 3. Gave up just 1 hit. He did not walk anybody and faced 8 batters. 1-1. Fastball misses off the outer black. 2 balls and 1 strike thus far. Speed has thrown 5 pitches, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Holds the red glove in front of his face. He winds and deals. This one almost hits Duvall. Jumps out of the way of that one. 3-1 the count.
Speed has had a problem with hit batters lately. He's hit 3 in his last 2 appearances.
Duvall wears the blue and orange batting gloves, touches his helmet, swings the all blue bat. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Outside changeup. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Duvall. Bottom 11, bases empty, 1 away. Plymouth and Newport all tied up at 4. The payoff pitch. Fouled off straight back. Great job by Duvall. For Plymouth, 4 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. For Newport, 4 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. Duvall digs back in from the left side. Speed fires the payoff pitch. Check swing. Duvall went around. And that is the first strikeout of the ball game for Speed. 2 away for J.C. Flowers, the center fielder out of Florida State. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. The bottom third of this Newport lineup here tonight has struck out 10 times, with Bruce Steele and Andrew Dashbach in that number 7 spot, along with Liam O'Regan and Ty Duvall in the 8 spot, and then J.C. Flowers in the number 9 spot. Looks at a fastball up and in for ball 1. The next offering. This one bunted well, third base line, charging in Adams, bare hand, and he has no play. It's a bunt single for J.C. Flowers. He's 1 for 5. He represents the winning run.
Well, I love that decision out of J.C. Flowers. You know you've got a lot of speed. It's been a tough day at the plate. You walk in wearing that golden sombrero, and what do? You bunt your way on for a hit. Just good small ball surprises the Pilgrims with 2 outs. You know, for him to bunt a hit there, it just shows a lot of confidence in his abilities, and what we discussed is a very, very underrated trait.
Absolutely. Here is Cameron Meisner. He bats from the left side. Meisner here tonight, 2 for 4 runs, scored an RBI and a walk. He is hitting .330. Speed sets the red glove shoulder high. The pitch. Misses low and inside. 1-0 on Cameron Meisner. Off of first is J.C. Flowers. Has excellent speed over there. He's held on by McGuire. Bottom 11, 2 away, a runner on first. Newport and Plymouth all tied up at 4. Speed tucks the red glove shoulder high, gets the sign from Martirano. He'll throw over to first. Submarine style, diving back in safely is J.C. Flowers.
He doesn't go to that pickoff move very often, but it's always something to watch, that he goes that full submarine motion even when he's firing over to first.
Big lead for Flowers. Flowers goes. Pitch a called ball. Throw to second for Martirano. Not in time. Stolen base for J.C. Flowers. So that sets the scene here for Cameron Meisner. He bats in a hitter's count. It's 2-0. A single could win the ball game for Newport.
It's just J.C. Flowers taking advantage of a guy with a slow delivery to the plate. Got a good jump there, and good shoot by Martirano, but not going to be close.
The 2-0 pitch. Fouled straight back. Meisner just missed it. 2-1. Both teams have committed 3 errors on defense. Keep in mind, Plymouth entered play with the best fielding percentage in the NECBL at .973. They have committed just 24 errors entering play, now 27. Speed steps off and looks back. J.C. Flowers, the second base. Flowers reached on a bunt single and stole second here in the at-bat to Meisner. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Speed against Meisner. Speed sets at the chest. The red glove there, 2-1. This is up and inside, 3-1 on Meisner. Not the end of the world if you walk Cameron Meisner. You bring up Carter Aldretti. At least it's a more statistical favoring matchup with a righty-righty matchup. Also sets up a play at any base except home on a ground ball. The 3-1 from Speed. This is up and inside for ball 4.
Yeah, and that's a better decision than to try to come in to the zone there with the 3-1. You don't want to give him a pitch to hit. You know, almost. I mean, now that you've fallen behind, almost the better decision to just say, you know what, lost that batter. I'm going to go after Andretti now.
Aldretti, though, tonight, though, has had offensive success. Here tonight, the Arizona State shortstop, 1 for 5 with a strikeout. He's hitting .200 this season. He bats from the right side. Speed gets his sign from Martirano. Works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. The pitch misses up and away for ball one on Carter Aldretti. J.C. Flowers is off of second base. He represents the winning run. As Martirano and Speed will talk on the mound with how they want to approach Aldretti. 4-4 is the score. Bottom 11, 2 outs, runners on first and second. After a pop out from Dashbach and a strikeout from Duvall, J.C. Flowers had a bunt single down the third base line. Cameron Meisner walked. Runners are on first and second here for Aldretti. He singled back in the eighth. The 1-0 fastball misses up and away. 2 balls and no strikes on Aldretti. Off of first is Meisner. The first baseman, McGuire, plays behind him. And now off of second is Flowers. He has a big lead. The pitch. This is off the inner edge. 3-0 on Aldretti.
Well, you don't want to push that winning run over to third, but you kind of handcuffed yourself here. 3-0. It's going to be a good pitch to hit here for Aldretti. I'd still expect the red light, but he's going to see 2 if Speed tries to get back in it.
3-0 fastball misses wide for ball 4. The bases are loaded with 2 outs for Gabe Snyder. To second goes Meisner. To third goes Flowers. Aldretti is aboard off the 2-out walk. Second walk in a row for Speed. And we're going to have a quick mound visit here by the Pilgrims.
And how large now does that bunt loom? Such a great decision by Flowers. 2 quick outs for Speed. He looks like he's cruising along, and then you just drop one down on him. Pilgrims can't make a play, and look what it turns into. Now you've got that winning run just 90 feet away in what looks like a very shaky Connor Speed on the mound.
It's going to be a righty-lefty matchup. Speed against Snyder here tonight. Snyder is 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. He's now hitting .283 on the season. Resides in Killbuck, Ohio. But what a ball game it has been. Can the Newport Gulls extend their winning streak to a season-long 4 games and walk off here at Cardines Field for the 2nd consecutive game in a row? We'll find out shortly. It's Speed against Snyder. A righty-lefty matchup. Bates College against Wright State. Off of first is Aldretti. He walked. Off of second is Meisner. He walked. Off of third is Flowers. He reached on a bunt single. Speed works out of the stretch. First pitch. Skied in the air, foul, left side, out of play, 0-1 on Snyder.
Interesting to see Snyder going there. You've got a guy who has really been erratic through this latter portion of the inning, struggling to find the zone. You go swinging at that first pitch strike rather than making him throw you one.
Here's the 0-1 from Speed. This one drilled, deep center field, backtracking his cheek, long run, looks up, it's off the fence! Flowers will score! It's a walk-off single from Gabe Snyder, and for the 2nd consecutive game in a row, the Gulls walk off here at Cardines Field as the Gulls fly high here tonight with a 5-4 victory over the Plymouth Pilgrims. What a game! What a game here tonight. Newport improves to 11-16. Plymouth falls to 14-13. Unbelievable stuff. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls post-game show will start next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. For the 2nd consecutive night, the Newport Gulls walk off over the Plymouth Pilgrims, this time by a final score of 5-4, or a 2nd consecutive game, I should say, because the Gulls had an off day yesterday. Gabe Snyder, the hero tonight. It's a walk-off single for the Wright State product to score J.C. Flowers. Newport victorious by a final score of 5-4. Plymouth falls to 14-13. Newport improves to 11-16. The Gulls have won 4 games in a row. Quinn Kelly, what a ball game this one was here tonight. A very uncharacteristic game because Plymouth, we talked about their defense, 3 errors. Of course, with timely hitting from Newport, that allowed this Gulls team back into the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We talked about before the game. You mentioned that it's not a team that errs a lot, and I told you it's a team that when they do err, it comes back to bite them. And yet another game that the Pilgrims can really attribute a loss to just poor defense behind them. And, just kind of unlucky breaks throughout the night. You got Drew Korzybski cruising along. He has to come out because of the rain delay. You have a ball hit by McGuire that, ends up being a double. Who knows? Could have been more, could have been less. But, just a tough evening for the Pilgrims in a game that really all of those breaks don't matter. You could have won the game either way without any of those going your way. But just shoddy defense prevents you from doing so. Frustrating loss for the Pilgrims in a game that they looked like they could have had.
David Palmer grabs the win, the right-hander out of the University of New Haven through the 11th inning, scoreless. For Plymouth, grabbing the loss is the right-hander Connor Speed. He allowed one earned run over 2/3 of a frame. Once again, Plymouth falls to 14-13. Newport improves to 11-16. Pacing Plymouth's offense was Zachary McGuire and Connor Brumfield. They both had 2 hits. Pacing Newport's offense, Cameron Meisner, he went 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI and 2 walks. Also, Dom DiRenzo, 2 for 5, a run scored. Plymouth and Newport, what a ball game. Newport victorious 5-4. Newport out-hits Plymouth 8-7. Quinn, always a pleasure. Great
Always
seeing you.
Darren, yeah.
Great working with you here. Once again, I'll head down to the field. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues next, hosted by Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxout and Gulls field reporter Meredith Pepis. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Well, what a game, what a game, what a game. This is the second straight win for the Gulls, where they had to battle back from a large deficit late in the game. They did not quit, though. Another extra inning win. This time it was prolonged by a rain delay. Gulls weren't fazed by that, and it was Gabe Snyder, the hero for tonight, with the RBI single. J.C. Flowers, of course, had a very critical play, as we all know, laying down a bunt, a surprise bunt, if you will, to start a rally in the 11th inning. He got on, and he scored the winning run, and the Gulls are 5-4 winners on tonight.
I really didn't think it was going to come down to this. They had a huge rain delay, and I think Plymouth really sat back on that rain delay. They were up 4-1 at that time, and they definitely thought they were just going to take it from us, and they definitely didn't. Newport definitely wanted to win this game. I mean, we're a couple games out of the playoffs, so every game really comes down to winning. And Gabe Snyder, he went, like Darren said, he went 0 for 5 in the beginning of this game, and he came out and he really just gave it to Plymouth. That was a great hit by him, and luckily for him, the bases were loaded by some great offense from the players. And they just really, they wanted to win more. That's what it comes down to. They wanted to win more. Plymouth had a lot of errors. Like Quinn and Darren said, they never really err, but when they do, it's pretty bad. I remember Darren said that Plymouth had the best defensive team in the league, and it really didn't show here today at all, because Newport came back in the 7th inning after an hour rain delay and came back and hit it. And we're going to send it down to Darren on the field with the player of the game.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to the postgame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls player of the game, Gabe Snyder. Snyder hit a walk-off RBI single in the bottom half of inning number 11 to lift Newport over Plymouth 5-4. Gabe, you come up in that spot. What did it feel like, and what did it feel like to see that ball get over Cheek's head in center field?
Oh, it felt good to get some good wood on a ball tonight. I was struggling a little bit at the plate all night, but after that, it feels pretty good.
You go up into that plate appearance 0 for 5. Can you talk to me what it's like to kind of put those first at-bats behind you in that situation?
It's tough because you got a lot of mental stuff going on in your head, trying to focus in each at-bat and put the other one, flush it behind you. So I just kind of relaxed and gave myself a little more confidence and went in there up to the plate.
For the second consecutive game, Newport walks off with victories here at Cardines Field. Gabe, what does that say about the resiliency of this team?
Hey, we're coming together at the right time. 4 in a row, I think, right? Yep. So hopefully we keep that going.
Absolutely, Gabe. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck the rest of the way. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Thank you, Darren. Gabe Snyder, what a game for him. He really was struggling through that game. He even just said it, and it really just came down to the mental stability in that game, and it really showed that he wanted to just take this win home for the Gulls. They're a couple games out of the playoffs. They are moving up the rankings from being in the bottom place all season long, and now that the whole team's here finally, they're really ready to rock and roll. They really want to be in this playoffs. I believe someone told me earlier that we have never not made a playoffs, so they really want to prove to the organization and everyone else here and everyone else in the league actually that they're a team to be reckoned with, and they're definitely no one to take lightly. Plymouth looked like they took them a little lightly in the 7th inning. When they had the rain delay, they were up 4-1, and they kind of took it lightly after the rain delay, and really just came into the ball game not prepared. A lot of walks, a lot of pitches hit by the players at bat, and we're gonna send it back down to Darren for the end of the game.
Thanks so much, guys. Welcome back to the post-game show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport victorious over Plymouth in 11 innings by a final score of 5-4. Gabe Snyder was the hero tonight with the walk-off single. Newport improves to 11-16. The Gulls are riding a season-high 4-game winning streak. Tomorrow night, Newport will travel out to Groton, Connecticut to take on the Mystic Schooners. First pitch is set for 6:30 p.m. Before we sign off, we'd like to thank everyone who played a role in tonight's broadcast. Our executive producer and director is Tom Lima. Our producer is Shannon Carlson. Cam McGuire is our associate producer. Our audio tech is Lucas Malley. Our on-site engineer is Sam Salinger. Meredith Peppis is our social media coordinator. Our field reporter is Dave Peck. Our statistician is Ben Maxoud. And for the voice of the Plymouth Pilgrims, Quinn Kelly, I'm Darren Zaslow saying so long from the city by the sea.